Welcome back to another Final Table commentary. We got the 10K PLO main event from Scoop 2024. We don't got no payouts. I do know first place. We'll quickly look. I think it was 140K, 130 some K. Where is it? 132K. Second place is 100K. We will see in the chat for the remainder payouts. Got a stacked final table. Looks like it should be a good one. We got Pass. We got Wizzo, Lena. How am I going to say this person's name? Mess Carl. Maybe just Carl. Carl's nice and easy with the pocket kings. On the turn, he's got the best hand. Nobody's got a deuce. Lena with top two. Gonna bet about 2/3 or so. We also got Sir Watts, Elmo, and Tremendo to round us out. Looks like we got plenty of chips in play. Like I was saying, stacked final table. This will be a fun one. Carl thinking things through here. With two players behind, it's not an easy call. Carl will find the fold. Pass. What do we got going on over there? A pair of nines. No draw. Pair of nines for Wizzo. Guess what? He's got no draw. Da-da, Betty do. They'll find the fold and we move along. King for Sir Watts. There's no suit, so they're gonna let it go. Elmo's got three aces. No suit as well. We'll see if he plays this one. Hanging out at about 20 big blinds. Wizzo with the remaining ace with the suit. And three sort of connected cards with the 10-9-7. Lays it down. Folds around to Carl with the Jack 8, 7-5 with a suit. Plays call, 10-8-4 flop. Ace is still in the lead for the time being. Carl with a straight draw. To what? The 9 or the 6? Also with the pair 8s. Do-betty-do, Elmo checks it back. We get a 5 on the turn. That's a 2 pair for Carl. He's going to lead on out. Pretty small, a little bit under half pot, maybe 40%. Looks like a couple big blinds. He'll take it down. 3 big blinds was the bet. For those who care. Sir Watts with aces in the big blind. We got Lena with aces too. Should see some bets going here. Maybe the ace 10-3 just calls. We're going to find out real quickly. Sir Watts does just play call. 8-5-4 flop. Lena with the flush draw. Both players just playing aces now until the turn. 9 of diamonds. Interesting happening here. Sir Watts does have the ace of diamonds, but it doesn't look like he's going to turn it into a bluff with some showdown value with the aces. Do-ba-di-do, Elena blocking the straight flush. He can know he's got the second best holding. Sir Watts again with the ace of diamonds. Plays call 8 on the river, so the board pairs. Sir Watts checks it on over. 1.1 mil in the middle. Looks like it's going to be sliding Lena's way. Lena sizing up a river bet. Not a great card. 9, 8 did make a full house. 5s and 4s. Still making full houses. Lena does just check it back and takes it down. What's gonna happen here? Ace Jack 10-2 for pass. It's double suited. Pass in the tank. Goes for the raise. We got aces with a suit for Carl. Ace 9-7. Carl thinking it out. We also got the Jack 5-5 for Sir Watts. That'll fold after a 3-bet comes in. King Queen 9-4 also hits the muck for Elmo. Pass in a weird spot. This is for a large chunk of his chips here. Do. Thinking things through. Probably getting a good price to come along to the flop. Although he doesn't have too many chips behind again, so if he makes his hand, it's not like he's... Well, he could still get a full double. But the ace, 9, 7, it's going to be hard for both players to connect on a board. 10, 6, 3. 2 diamonds. Carl with the the overpair. Straight draw to the 8. Pass with the top pair, top kicker. Top. My brain just went there before I said pass his name. Pass in the tank. He's got the 2-pair draw and backdoor hearts. Backdoor straight draw as well. We're going to get this in on the flop. 8 on the turn. Heart. Oh my lord. Runner, heart for pass. Just like that, Carl gets it in great. With the overpair, the flush draw. Had some 70% on the flop there. Carl, very sad man. Down to 1.7 million chips. Right around 20 big blinds. A little bit more than Elmo. But that 5.6 over and passes stack should have been his. We got 7-3 deuce flop. That's 2-pair for Tremendo. Top pair, top kicker for Wizzo. Nobody's got the club draw. Nobody's got backdoor spades. Tremendo has a straight draw to the ace or the 6. Wizzo calls. 6 on the turn. Binkaroo. I mean, the 2-pair was already good for Tremendo. 6 just locks up the board. Although there's plenty of flush draws that Tremendo is going to imagine he wants to get some value from. Oh, he does sneakily check it on over to Wizzo. Wizzo with no redraw. Like I was saying, the board's locked up. 1 million chips. At the very least, is going to be going Tremendo's way. 10 on the river. Wizzo with an ace. Ace 7. Sorry, he's playing A7. Not putting any more chips in the middle. Both flush draws brick. 8-9 does make a better straight. The 5-4 does lead on out for about half pot. A little bit more. Wizzo in the tank. Would be an interesting call down. Blocking the 8-9 straight. 8-5 is not a straight. Wizzo folds that weak pair with the good kicker. We move along. Lena with aces in a suit. Kings for Carl with a suit. And an ace to boot. And he kings dead. 1 in the big blind. We'll see if Carl calls or 3-bets. 3-bet comes on in for half of Carl's stack. 1 king folded in the big blind. Gonna need some spades dealer. Another spade maybe? Make this interesting. A 3 on the turn. Things are pretty well dead. We got 1 out for Carl, and just like that, kings don't get there. Lena up to 10 million chips. Over 100 bigs. This will be fun to see them with the big stack. They're gonna raise up the ace queen 10-5. No suit. Face a 3-bet from the ace king 8-7 double suited. Tremendo with the ace queen 4-2 with the suited ace. Will let it go eventually. And everybody folds. Elmo gets 1 through. That's a big pot sliding their way. 20 blinds for Elmo. They're gonna fold the queen 5-5-4. Folds around to Wizzo in the small. He doesn't have a playable hand. Lena does. The 10-8, 7-6 double suited. Won't even get to see a flop. Just a walk. Ace king 10-3 for Tremendo. I don't know why I think he's going to play this. He does have a lot of chips. In second place with about 6 mil. He will eventually lay it down. Queen 10-10-5 for Wizzo. Wizzo will fold. Lena with a suited ace and a pocket pair. Plays limp. Double suited King 9-5-4 for Sir Watts. Checks it back. 6-3-2 flop. Top pair for Lena, and that's a straight for Sir Watts. Do buddy do 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 buddy do. Lena does have a backdoor straight draw. The 9 on the turn won't bring it in. Dum da dum da dum. Weird spot for Lena. He does double block the straight here with the 4-4. But a 75% pot bet will get through though. Nice fold from Lena. I mean, just had a measly pair of sixes. Sometimes players get sticky. Not here, not now. 10-8-5-4, double suited. Wizzo Wizzo is thinking about going for the open. Has some playability. You might want high cards instead though. You got a lot of middling and low cards. They aren't 4 connected cards. Wizzo Wizzo will just fold. If we're playing a cash game, maybe goes for an open, but not here, not now. Elmo in the big blind with ace king 7-4 with the suited ace. Lets it go. Ace king 5-3 with the suit. Wizzo Wizzo again gonna think about it, but we'll fold once again. Ace queen 7-4 for Sir Watts. We'll go for the limp. Elmo folds the small blind, so this will be heads up. Ace jack 9-6 flopping top pair, top kicker for Tremendo. Watts with the flush draw. Do ba da do da do ba da do. Sir Watts bets a big blind. Tremendo in the tank. Not going to be easy to play on turn and river. We'll see if he just lays it down on the flop. I don't think so. Goes for the check raise. And Sir Watts folds the flush draw. Nicely done by Tremendo. Certainly didn't look like a fold on the flop. It's just a matter of, do you want to go to the turn and river? Do you want to protect your hand? And that's what Tremendo landed on. Lena with the ace 8-4-3 with the suited ace. Goes for the 3x raise from early position. Queen 9-8-4 for pass. We'll just lay it down. 10-8-7-6. Lena right back in there. 3 big blinds is going to be the opening size. Ace king 8-5 for Wizzo Wizzo with the suited ace. Let's go to the flop dealer. Or does he just go chip preservation mode? Seen a lot of folding, but Wizzo Wizzo will call this time. Jack 6-5 flop. Lena's got a rapidy doodah. Nope, not quite. He's missing the 9 for the wrap. My bad. Just an open-ended straight draw. To the 4 or 9 with the pair of 6s. Wizzo Wizzo with the bottom pair. No backdoor draw. Just lets it go. He had the backdoor straight draw, but not flush draw. Bum buddy bum ba bum bum bum. Ace jack jack 6 double suited for pass on the button. We'll raise this one on up. Wizzo Wizzo in the small blind with queen queen jack 7 with the suited jack. Weird spot for them. Pass goes 3x. 8-5-4-2 in the big blind. I think Lena will quickly fold. So the queens do just lay it down because the queens aren't suited. Who wants to go post flop out of position there? Not Wizzo Wizzo. Do-ba-dee-do-do-do-ba-dee-do. Should fold to Wizzo Wizzo with the ace 10-8-6 double suited. Doop-a-doo-doo. 4 million chips for Wizzo Wizzo. They've done a good job of preserving chips, waiting for spots. On the button, this looks like an open. Lena with the kings with the suited ace goes for the quick 3-bet. Doop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-ba-dee-doo. Wizzo Wizzo didn't want to see this. I don't think it's unexpected though. They do play call and flop the nut flush draw with top pair with the straight draw to the 9. They got a lot of freaking equity here. Lena bets pot. This one will get in. 70% for Wizzo Wizzo. What a freaking draw. 5 on the turn, 9 of diamonds on the river. Doop-a-dee-doo. Just like that, Wizzo Wizzo takes down a huge pot, 8.2 million chips. Lena with 6. 6.1, pretty well tied with Tremendo for second place now. Elmo in the big blind with aces. Let's look around. Anybody else got some playability? The Queen 9 6 deuce double suited for Tremendo goes for an open. Elmo wishes his aces were suited, but the suited Jack 5 still good enough for a little 3-bet ski here. Most of Elmo's chips are going in the middle. Has about 800k behind. Tremendo in the tank. Has the dominating club draw if the clubs come on the flop. Doop-a-dee-doo. Makes the call. 6-5-4 flop. Interesting. Tremendo with top pair. Backdoor diamond draw. Elmo gets this in. We see Tremendo with the 2 pair draws, about 55%. Would be the equity favorite. Makes the call. Any Queen, 9, 6 or deuce. There's a 9 on the river. Doop-a-dee-doo. And we lose Elmo. That's very unfortunate. Ace is not always holding here in the old PLO game. Even a slight underdog on the flop there. That's bad news. I mean, good news for Tremendo, who's up to 7.6 million chips. Just behind Wizzo Wizzo with 8.2. Lena with the ace king, 8-4. With the suited king goes for the 3x raise. We got an ace jack jack 5 in the big blind for pass. The ace is dominating suit. Doop-a-dee-doo. Pass calls. Still has the best hand with the jacks on the queen 6-5 flop. Lena with a straight draw to the 7. Also could just buy this pot at some point. The bet on the flop is pretty small, but it will work. Pass lays down the jacks. Doop-a-dee-doo-da-da-ba-dee-doo. Queen 9. 10-8 for for Sir Watts. How did I get that wrong? Tremendo with the king queen. Jack 7 double suited. Plays call. Ace 3 deuce deuce double suited for pass. This isn't no limit 08. So pass will just fold. Get a king 9 8 flop. Super interesting. 2 pair for Sir Watts. Tremendo with the top is the pairs with the flush draw to the spades. Sir Watts can bang off a jack for a straight. Instead we get the 9 on the turn, which is a full house now for Sir Watts. Locks up the board for him. 3 of spades on the river. Oh, on the river. 3 of spades on the river. Sir Watts checks over the boat. Tremendo bets 400k that he'll never get back. Do-ba-dee-doo-doo. Sir Watts sizing up a river bet, or do we just call? Don't have the best boat, we lose to kings. So maybe we go for a raise here. 1.8 mil. Half of Sir Watts chips. This doesn't look like a bluff at all. The king queen folds. Or sorry, the jack 7 flush. He wasn't just playing top pair. Made the flush on the river. Alrighty, let's get back in the game here. Ace 7-3 with a suit for pass. Doop-a-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-ba-dee-doo. Doesn't look like Lena has a defending hand. The queen 6-5-3 with a suited 5-3. Nope. Lena quickly folds. Wizard with some junk. Also folds a small. Ace king 7-3. Pass. We'll think about it, but maybe just lay this one down. The king is suited. It's got a little bit of playability. Nope, we're just gonna fold. Ace jack 8-4 for Wizard with the big stack. We're gonna raise the button. Queens fold the small. Sure think that was queens. 5-5-3-3 comes along to the flop and flops about. No pair for Wizard. Backdoor spade draw. Has a backdoor straight draw as well. We'll see if he bets or just checks the flop. Does look like a spot where you can just buy it a lot with a small bet. Obviously not gonna work this time. Do-ba-do-do-do-ba-do-ba-do-boo. Sir Watt's in the tank. Plays check raise super small. Sir Watts. Would have been nice to see him just call the flop, but not this time. We'll see if he can get some value. I don't think Wizard is going to float this. No, so unfortunately Sir Watts only gets the tiny flop bet out of him. Do-ba-do-do-do-do-ba-do-do. Kings with the suited ace for pass. This will be a play. Right? How do we fold kings with the suited ace? We do not. Lena with the suited ace lets it go. Tremendo with the ace jack 6-3 and the big no suit will probably fold as well. Has plenty of playable or plenty of chips to play with, but wants a playable hand. It looks like we went on a break. What the hell is going on here, Poker Stars? Do we got a deal coming on? What the hell? Are we gonna have to wait here 5 minutes? Am I just gonna sit here for 5 minutes saying, what's going on? Poker Stars, deal the cards, dude. Do I have time to get a coffee? Huh. Alrighty then, Poker Stars. Take your time. Poker Stars is back. What's gonna happen here? Got a king 9-4 deuce, double suited for Sir Watts on the button. We'll let it go. Tremendo from the small blind limps in the king jack 5-4 with the suited king. Pass has the dominating suit in the big blind. This could be fun if some spades come out. Nope, we just get a bunch of clubs. We do get some low cards. Tremendo with a pair of fives. That's not too exciting. Pass with some sort of straight draw here. An ace, a 3, a 4, or a 6 will do. 7 is not it. Pair of fives still have the best hand. Tremendo checks it on over. Do ba da do 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 betty do. 200k in the middle. We'll see if pass takes a stab. Does bet out 100k. And Tremendo probably gonna fold with the pair of fives. Do ba do 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 ba do do. Looks like a bunch of shit hands here. Wizzo with the playable ace queen 10-9 in the big blind. We'll see if pass comes along to the flop, limping it in with the ace 10-6-3. Do we just fold? What the hell do? We limp. Wizzo is dominating him here. Makes it 3 big blinds to go. And pass lays it down. Nice time to fold your hand there. Ooh, kings for pass. Double suited to go along with that. Ooh, stay connected, Poker Stars. We need you open. King, 10 and a 6. 3 big blinds to go. Leno with the queen, 10, 8, 3. And he's gonna find the fold. No action for passes kings. Queen, jack, 6, no suit for Tremendo. We'll lay it down. Jack, 7, 4 for pass. Another fold. This will actually just fold all the way around to Sir Watts. They get a walk. Ace, jack, 10, 7 with a suit. Wizza will open this up. Queen, jack, 9 with a suit for Lena. Plays call. Ace, queen, 5, deuce for Tremendo in the big blind. Getting a fair price, but the hand's kind of shitty. Tremendo does call. 7, 6, 5 flop. Interesting little board here. Looks like queens are still good for the time being. Nobody's got the club draw. Nobody's got the backdoor diamonds. Nobody has a straight draw either. Backdoor straight draw for Wizzo with the 8, 9. 5 deuce can hit the 3, 4 straight. Runner as well. 5 on the turn. That will do for Tremendo's ace 5. So now Wizzo needs only a 7. He's probably not paying off a bet if it comes out. Half pot. Lena with the queen might also just find the fold, as there's already some made straights out there. Couple of flush draws. Gonna be difficult to navigate on the river with the queen. Lena just lets it go. Lena with the queen, jack, 10, deuce with a suit. Goes 3x, his blinds did go up. Tremendo with the ace, 9, 5, deuce. Double suited, plays call from the small. We get the queen 8, 6, 3 for pass, double suited. They're gonna lay it down. Ace, king, 5 flop. Interesting board. Lena's got a straight draw to the queen, jack, or 10. No backdoor flush draws for him though. Tremendo with top and bottom pair on a weird board. Plays call. We get a 6 of diamonds on the turn. The diamond doesn't really matter, but the flush draw is still out there if somebody were to have it. Lena checks back the turn, ace on the river. Tremendo improves to a boat, losing to ace king. And that's all. Once checked to, it feels like Lena needs to bet here, and they go half pot. Quick call off from the boat, and just like that, 2.2 million chip slides Tremendo's way, putting them in first place with 8.4 mil. Sir Watts with a very playable queen, 9, 10 double suited. Doesn't look like there's too much else going on though. Looks like a 3.5x open from Sir Watts. Wizzo's just priced out of the pot with a shitty jack. 6, 5, 4 with a suit. Do-ba-da-dum-dum-dum. Pass with the jack, 8, 7, 5 double suited on the button. We'll see if he plays this. Do-do-do-do. Goes for the limp this time. Okay. Small blind comes along. Lena checks. Queen 7-7 flop. Pass with a 7. That's good news for them. Bum. Nobody with a pair of queens. Nobody else with a 7. I don't think anybody else pays a bet off on the flop. Get a 9 of spades on the turn, which is a super interesting card for Lena, who picks up some straight outs and some flush outs. Although the 8 would make pass a boat. Oh my, and look at this from Wizzo. With the straight draw to the 8 and the flush draw with the best flush draw leads out a third pot. Lena with his draws lets it on go. Again, that 8 will make pass a boat. We get a 9 on the river. So the draw is brick. Wizzo sitting here with king high. We'll check it on over. Pass, well, it'll be hard for pass to get value on the river here. You could try to get called by a queen. Pass does just check it down though. Takes a nice pot. 4.8 million chips for pass now. Everybody's got over 50 bigs. That's quite cool to see. Lena the shorty with 4.7 million chips. Doopity doo, Wizzo. Feels like you're gonna play the queen 9-7-3, even though it's a pretty shit hand. Maybe you just fold. Nice fold from Wizzo. Teaching us you don't have to get too crazy here. Because again, I think everybody's so deep. You can kind of play reasonable holdings, and I think everybody's in that situation. As we see the king, queen, 4 deuce go for the limp. Jacks come along in the small with the suited ace. Tremendo with 10s and a suit to the diamonds, which is live for him. In the big blind, they'll finally check. King, queen, jack flop. Top 2 for Wizzo. Sir Watts with bottom set. Got middle pair and the open-ended straight draw for Tremendo. Backdoor diamonds as well for him. Checks all the way around. We get a 6 of hearts on the turn, so there's no flush draws out there. And the straight draw plus middle pair bets out pot. Top 2 folds for Wizzo. Sir Watts does block the ace-10 nut straight. Hard to fold a set here. Sir Watts calls. Deuce of clubs on the river. 1 million chips in the middle. Tremendo knows his queen's no good here. He's gonna bet pot again. Rep the straight. Ace-10 or 10-9. Sir Watts with the set. Would be a huge pot if they are able to find the call here. If they fold and move along, they still have about 5 million chips. Deep in the tank. Got 170 seconds left to make the decision. Not going to use the whole time bank. How much longer do we reckon we got? I say 140 seconds, we'll have a decision made. This is a huge pot. Take your time. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Call. Oh, he's just wrong. Okay. Alright. Oh, there's the call. It's just like 4 seconds off. Nice call by Sir Watts. Wow. Couldn't have made the call 4 seconds earlier? No, I'm just kidding. Real tough call down with the jacks. Very nicely done. I love to see Sir Watts pick up chips. King queen 10-8 for Wizzo. Under the gun raise. pass with the queen 7-6-5 with the suited queen, getting a fair price to come along to the flop. They do find the call, ace king 6 flop. Do but a do, whiz second pair, straight draw to the jack. Backdoor hearts. And the best of it for the time being, we get an ace on the turn. Do but a do. Pass, blocking some boats. 6-6, ace 6. Checks it on over. I'm just trying to give him a reason to bluff. Wizzo goes for the double check. We'll see if he can get some value on the river or if this is just a check down pot. Do but a do 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 but a do. 540k in the middle. Pass checks. Wizzo checks. Says there's no value to be had. A 6 won't even call me here. Smaller pocket pair would be put in a weird pickle. Wizzo just takes it down with the pair of kings. Sir Watts with the ace 5-3 with a suit. Looks like a 3.5 exit once again. Nobody with any playable hands. Sir Watts takes down the blinds. Oh, and I guess there's an ante. Not too often do you see that in PLO, but we got an ante. Or do you see it often in PLO? I feel like whenever I play PLO, there's rarely an ante. Maybe because we're late in a tournament and this is like a 3 or 4 day tournament. Boom. Anyways, we move along. Ace 9, 8-3 for Wizzo. Thinking things through. They're gonna limp it on in. Elena quickly raises the ace king. Queen 10, no suit. 2 more blinds for Wizzo to call. And they fold. Ace Queen 4-3 for Tremendo, double suited. We'll see if they open this one on up. Wizzo with the suited ace, lets it go. Ace King 10 for Elena, goes for the 3-bet from the small blind. Do ba da do ba da ba dee do. Tremendo. In the tank, finds the call. 10-8 deuce flop. We got a bunch of backdoor draws, but the kings are still good for the time being. Lena bets full pot. Tremendo looking for some backdoor straights. Backdoor hearts or spades, they will just fold. Looks like the bet was just way too much. It's very nice for Lena to take down, who's up to 5.8 million chips now. Wizzo with the ace jack 6-4, raising 3x. King queen 7 deuce for Tremendo, will eventually fold maybe. We're gonna find out. Tremendo in the tank, folds. King Jack 8-7. Wizzo thinks about it for a minute, but they let it go. Queen 9-5-3 double suited. Sir Watts will raise it on up. Continues to use the super large size, making it difficult for their opponents to call, but Tremendo still finds it with the ace jack deuce from the small. Pass with the jack 10, 7-6 double suited in the big blind. We're probably going 3 ways to a flop here, dealer. Ace 5-2. Does somebody have a straight? No. It's bottom set for Tremendo. Sir Watts with a straight draw to the 4. Backdoor clubs. A pair of 5s. That's no good. Tremendo Tremendo leading out half pot. Looks like they're just gonna buy it here. Pass with 3 in a row, so has plenty of backdoor straight draws. Still just seems like they're out of here. Sir Watts again could spank a 4 on the turn if they called. But they're just going to throw a little throwable and find the fold. Pick up an ace, king, jack, 8, double suited. Sir Watts is right back in there. Tremendo with the ace, 6, 4, 3, double suited. Plays call once again. Ace, 8, 7, deuce for Wizzo Wizzo. In the big line, do we come along? Another 3-way pot? Another 3-way pot. Queen, 8, 3. 2 clubs out there for Tremendo. Sir Watts with not much doing here. Backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight draws. Oh boy, Tremendo checks back the flop. We get a 5 of diamonds on the turn. Pretty damn interesting card. Wizzo Wizzo could bang off a 4 for a straight. Tremendo with a longer straight draw. Wait, right? A deuce. Does a 7 work for him? A 7 works for him. And a club works for him. Sir Watts needs a diamond. Do ba dee do do ba da ba dee do. Tremendo, Tremendo. I think a pair of 8s is best right now for Wizzo Wizzo. Oh, it's tied with Sir Watts. They're both playing ace 8. Tremendo betting half pot. Do ba dee do. Wizzo Wizzo quickly folds. Sir Watts gonna find out, or we're gonna find out if he thinks he's priced in. Finds the call jack on the river, giving Sir Watts 2 pair. Tremendo's draw missed. 2 million chips in the middle. What the hell do we do here with a pair of 3s? Oh, Tremendo checks it back. Sir Watts gets free showdown. That's great news for the 2 pair. 2 million chips slide over Sir Watts' way. And they might be right back in there with the ace, jack, jack, 10, or not double suited, sorry. Suited to the hearts. We see both other jacks dead. And Lena with queens in the big blind. Looks like just a 3x sizing from Sir Watts. Do ba da do. Wizzo folds. Lena calls with the queens, and he makes top set. Open-ended straight draw on the backdoor flush draw for Sir Watts. 4 hearts on the turn. Interesting spot. Lena sees all the draws out there. Jack 10's open-ended. 8-7 is open-ended. 5-3 is open-ended. 5-7 is open-ended. Then if you got a couple of those cards, you're wrapped right on up. If you got a king, jack, 10, 8. We get a 5 of clubs on the river. So queens hold up. Looks like 1.6 million chips sliding Lena's way. They're sizing up a river bet. Although plenty of straights get there. So they size down on the river. Giving Sir Watts a good price. Gonna be hard to call with just a pair of jacks though, so Sir Watts folds. Lena back up to 6.5 million chips now. Tremendo with an ace 8-7-4, thinking things through. Goes for the big raise. I mean, it could have been bigger. We'll see if Sir Watts is priced in with the ace 7-5-5. With the suit, they play call. Ace 6-3 flop. Weird board. Both players with top pair. Slightly better kicker for Tremendo, and we got some straight draws out there. Sir Watts can bang off a 4 backdoor diamonds. 7 would be a chop pot. A 5 would do for Sir Watts, giving them a set. Except it would bring in some straight draws for Tremendo. We get the 10 of clubs on the river. Nobody with 2 pair. 1 million chips in the middle. Looks like this one will check down. And Tremendo playing ace 8. We'll take the million chips in the middle. Bum buddy bum. Aces for Watts. What else is going on? The 8-7-3 deuce was a wizzo. Thinking about it. Probably gonna find the fold. Lena with 8-8-5-4 on the button. Might just let this one hit the muck. We'll see. Oh, we're going for the limp. Okie dokie. Aces for Watts. Goes for the raise. Tremendo with the king queen 10-6 with the suited king queen. Thinking things through, but they'll fold. Lena calls. Doesn't necessarily connect on the board. Has an open-ended straight draw. And the weak flush draw. Ace high board. Sir Watts with top set. We'll bet about half pot. We'll see if Lena's concerned about getting dominated with her draws. Not quite. Just gonna play call. We get a 9 on the turn. So the straight draw gets long. But he doesn't pick up any equity. He's got a deuce, a 6, or a diamond. Full pot size bet from Sir Watts on the turn here. Still with the nuts. If Lena calls, they'll have about 4 million chips behind. There'll be about 5 mil in the middle. We get a 9 on the river. Lena's draw bricks. Sir Watts improves to a boat. Only losing to pocket 9s. Sir Watts jams it all in. Lena quickly folds, preserving the 4 million chips tied up with pass. That was a huge pot sliding Sir Watts' way. Now that they're up to 9 million chips, we're going to get to see them put the pressure on the remaining 4 players. Double suited jacks for Lena. We'll just fold now that they're down to right around 40 bigs. Tremendo limping in the 10-9-5-4 with a suit. Pass with king queen 7-7 with a suit as well. Checks it back. King 10-5 flop. Bottom 2 for Tremendo. Top pair with a fair kicker for pass. Backdoor straight. Backdoor flush draws for pass. Also has a 3 of a kind draw. Tremendo leads out half pot. Pass calls 7 on the turn. There's the 3 of a kind coming in. Tremendo seemingly just can read into Pass's soul. Understand the 7 is a bad card for him. Checks it on over. Tremendo losing to king 10, 10-7. Kings 10, 7s, 5s. The bet is full pot. Plenty of draws out there, so Tremendo comes along, ace on the river, queen jack completes, the heart draw misses. Tremendo sitting there with 10-5, checks it on over. Even losing to more 2 pairs now, losing to some straights, or just the 1 straight I suppose. Pass with 3 of a kind. Kind of a scary pot now that I think about it. Will Pass even go for value here? Hard to get called by worse. Still possible, I suppose. Pass in the tank. Does put out another half pot size bet. Tremendo thinking about it. If he calls he's wrong, he'll have about 5 million chips. Tremendo just finds the fold. Doesn't even matter about if he calls and he's right. He's out of there. Folds around to pass in the small blind with the 9-7-4-3. Wizzo with the ace jack 8-8 in the big blind with no suit. Pass just folds. Wizzo gets a walk. Do betty do do da da betty dum. Aces for pass. Kings for Wizzo. 10-10-9-9 for Lena. We're at least gonna see an open and some calls. We could even see a 3-bet from the small blind. 3x open size from pass. Wizzo does just call, giving Lena giving Lena a chance to come along to the flop, and he flops 2 sets. 2 sets there. 10-9-5 flop. Wizzo with a straight draw to the 7 or queen. Pass, needing an ace. Hopefully for pass's sake they can check back the flop here. There's so many draws though, they might want to get some protection and a little bit of value. Nope, they do just check. Good news. 3 on the turn. So pass picks up a straight draw to the 2. If we get to the river for free, potentially pass can take this thing down. The jack 8 king for Wizzo leads out small with the king of hearts. Super interesting pot. Lena calls with the double set. 2 4 of a kind draws. We get a 7 on the river, so Wizzo makes the straight. And Lena here again with 2 sets. 7's a real bad card as 4-6 gets there, 8-6 gets there, jack 8 gets there. Although hearts got there on the turn. Lena calls the bet. We get to the river. Very nice river for Wizzo. He only had a few straight outs and the 3 of a kind out to the king. Although I bet if Wizzo missed, they would have bluffed with the king of hearts. Would have put Lena in a weird spot with the 3 of a kind, but we don't get to see that. Ace queen 9-5 double suited for Wizzo on the button. Surely we'll raise this up. Queen jack 10-9 in the small blind. Oh, we get a limp and then a raise from Lena. Getting Sir Watts out of the pot. This should go to the flop still. Could have an interesting hand brewing. We could both make some 2 pairs. Could both make some straights. Instead we get a 5-4-2 flop. Nobody's got a draw. I guess Wizzo with the ace with the draw to the 3, sorry, and the pair of 5s. Lena checks it on over. Bum bum bum. And you know what? Lena has the backdoor heart draw. My eyes need some checking. We got an 8 of spades on the turn, so spades complete. Wizzo still with the best of it. And a queen or 9 doesn't work, so Lena can only hit a 10 or jack here. Oh! 10 on the river. Why not, Poker Stars? Give Lena some chips. Unless Wizzo wants to bluff with their pair of 5s here. It's not like it's got showdown value. Unless Lena has some sort of king, queen, jack 9 hand. Which I suppose is possible. It's not going to be easy to call here with top pair. Oh, just kidding. I was going to say Lena does block the flush. You might want a different card that blocks the flush to call down with. Lena says, no, 9 of spades is good. A 10 is good here too. And a nice call from Lena. Worked out in their favor wonderfully. 4.2 million chips just behind pass. Taking one off one of the bigger stacks is always good news too. Do-ba-da-do, Wizzo with top pair, top kicker on the ace 8-4 flop. Tremendo with a pair of 8s and some backdoor shit. We'll just find the fold. Aces for Wizzo Wizzo. With a suit 2. Raising 3x. Queen Jack 9-7 for Watts is thinking about it. They're gonna play call. Do. Queen Jack 7-7 for Tremendo hits the muck. Pass with a suited ace and some straight potentials. In the big blind, has to call 2 more. We'll just find the fold. Queen 6-4 flop. Top pair for Sir Watts. Wizzo Wizzo still with the overpair of aces. Some backdoor straight draws, a backdoor club draw. Do. We get a 5 of clubs on the turn. Action card is Sir Watts picks up a straight draw to the 8. Still has the 2 pair outs. Wizzo Wizzo with the nut flush draw and the overpair still. I don't think Watts bets, so considering Wizzo Wizzo checks it on over to him. Sir Watts checks it back. We get a 3 of spades on the river. Ace deuce makes a straight. We've already had some 7-8 with a straight, 7-3 with a straight. Sir Watts is sitting here with the Queen Jack. We'll check it down, and Wizzo Wizzo shows him the aces. So we had an interesting turn, but no bets go in. So the pot didn't brew. We get an open from Lena with the ace king 8-7 double suited. Watts with aces. Watts goes for the 3 bet. Lena with the ace king 8-7. Double suited, as I say. Lena does call 10-7-5 flop. Backdoor hearts, backdoor clubs, backdoor straight, and the 2 pair draw for Lena. Obviously, an ace doesn't work. Lena leads out pot. Aces for Watts. Gets it in with the backdoor spade draw. 61% for him. Queen on the turn. Holy shit. 41% for Lena on the turn. But they don't get there. Watts' aces hold on up. We lose Lena in 5th, and he gets 42k for their showing. Wow, wee wah. That was a huge pot. Aces versus the double suited ace king XX. 7-8. Lena leads out pot with all their equity. Says fuck it, let's just get this in. That's kind of what you do in the old PLO. Sir Watts benefits from getting it in there with 60%. Up to about 13 million chips now. Commanding chip lead. Pass with the king queen. Jack 6 double suited, gonna limp it in. Kings with a suit come along for Wizzo. Ace 10-7-4, or not double suited, just suited to the 7. We'll fold the small blind. Ace Jack 8-5 checks it back. Queen 9 deuce flop. Couple of diamonds for Wizzo Wizzo. Pass with a straight draw to the 10 and the top pair. Tremendo as well with a straight draw to the 10. Backdoor heart draw. Blocks the nut flush draw. I don't think that will come into play. Probably just going to fold to this small bet. And they do. Pass is in a pickle though. What do we do here with a pair of queens? Gonna call. We get a 3 of hearts on the turn here. The kings are still good. Wizzo Wizzo thinking things through. He's gonna bet full pot here. With the best of it with a draw. All good news for Wizzo Wizzo. 8.2 million chips for them now. What's gonna happen here? Queen 7-5-4 double suited. Sir Watts with a lot of chips. Just under 13 million. We'll see if this is an open for him. Makes it 3x. Pass with 3 10s. We'll lay it down. Move on along. King 7-6-5 for Watts will fold. Queen 5-4-3 double suited for Tremendo. We'll open it on up. 3 nines in the big blind with a suited jack for Wizzo Wizzo. Ah, just a fold. Ace Queen 3 deuce with the suited queen. Wizzo Wizzo thinking things through. Facing the big stack, we're just gonna limp it on in. Sir Watts with 2 pocket pairs raises it up. Makes it 3 big blinds and a quick fold from Wizzo Wizzo. Do buddy do. King Queen 9-6 for pass. Raising 3.5x. Wizzo Wizzo with a 10-8-7-5, finding the fold. Don't know why I thought he was gonna play that. Tremendo also folds a big blind, so it gets through for pass. Who's hanging out with 4 million chips? Kinda seems to be their number for most of the final table so far. Ace Queen 10-3 goes for the 3x from Wizzo Wizzo. 8-5-4-3 for pass. In the big blind, lays it down. Another wing getting through pre. Ace Queen 10-5 with the suited ace for Tremendo will fold the button. King Jack 7-4 for pass. In the small blind. Fold. Okay, we move along. King 10-5-4 fold in. Sir Watts in the big blind facing a limp with the ace king 10 deuce. Are we gonna raise? They do find the raise, making it 3x. Queen 8-7-6 with the suited queen for Wizzo Wizzo finds the call. Flopping 2 pairs. Couple backdoor draws for Sir Watts. The clubs, some straight draws. Instead, it's an 8 of spades on the turn. Wizzo Wizzo with the boat. Leading out for full pot. Yeah, Sir Watts has a quick fold. Queen 10-8-4 for Wizzo Wizzo. Raising it up. I actually thought he was going to fold it. Sir Watts with the Queen Jack Jack 8 and a suit calls from the small. King 9-6 for Tremendo. Folds. 10-8-7 flop. Interesting. We got top 2 for Wizzo Wizzo. Straight draw to the 9 for Sir Watts. Blocking the Jack 9 straight. Leads on out for 2 blinds. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. 2 pair calls. We get a 9 on the turn. Sir Watts improves to the nuts. No flush draw out there with the 9 of spades on the turn. 1.2 million chips in the middle. Sir Watts bets real small, giving Wizzo Wizzo a chance to draw to the full house. Also has a straight draw to the Jack. Sir Watts with 2 of those. It's fairly unlikely we're going to see one of those though. Wow, there's a lot of confusing words just jammed together into a sentence. Wizzo Wizzo in the tank. Does find the call. We get an ace of spades on the river. 2 pair, no good. Sir Watts did a great job of extracting value this hand. Got lucky to bang off the 9 on the turn, if we're being a little honest. Sir Watts in the tank. Betting real small once again. 460k into just under 2 million chips. With the nuts. Hoping to induce a bluff here. Oh, and if Wizzo takes the bait, oh, he finds the fold. No more value for Watts. Nice fold there from Wizzo. Coming along when you get the price to come along. On the river. Once you don't improve, you're just going to fold. Don't turn your hand into a bluff if you don't need to. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Sir Watts raising the ace king 7-5, facing a 3-bet from the king 10-7-9 double suited. Tremendo gets that through. 5.4 million chips for Tremendo, and he gets another playable ace king 10, ace king queen 10 with the suited ace. Another 3-bet from Tremendo. And another fold from Watts. Almost 6 million chips now for Tremendo. King Jack 6-6. They're gonna think about it for a second, but lay it down. Jack 9-6-5 for pass. Now that we're short, we gotta just get rid of this shit. Maybe even if we're deep, we just get rid of that shit. King 10, King 10, 9-8 with suited king for Wizzo limps in. Double suited 9-4-3-2 for Watts, checks it back. Makes top pair with the flush draw. Wizzo with a better pair of nines. 3 is no help for Watts here. Wizzo checking it over. Put another 3 out there, dealer. Nope, we get the ace of diamonds. So Watts bricks the flush draw. It's only 2 blinds in the middle. So I guess there's the antes. Would have been nice for Watts to take down the pot, but not this time. Very small one slides over Wizzo's way. Ace 9-7-3 with a suit. Watts will lay it down. Wizzo with the queen 10-9-6. He's got 3 spades. That's not good news. The 6 of spades is a real dud. Still goes for the open. Sir Watts calls with the king jack 10-9. All of hearts. Get the king queen deuce flop. 2 diamonds. Those don't matter really. Sir Watts top pair. Quite a long straight draw here too. Any ace, jack, 10 or 9 will do. Wizzo with a straight draw to the jack. We get a 5 of spades on the turn, so Wizzo does pick up equity to the spades. Also has a 6 as an out. We get a 10 of diamonds. Isn't that a straight or is it just 2 pair? Sir Watts with 2 pair, my bad. I misread the board, didn't I? Jack 9 makes a straight. What am I talking about? I didn't misread the board. I didn't misread Sir Watts' hands. Until the river. Sir Watts does make the straight. He did have a rapidy dappity doodah. Just doesn't get any value. Queen 10 with for 2 pair. Wizzo just checks it down. Tremendo limping in the ace 7-5-5 with the suited ace. Pass with the suited ace as well. No pocket pair, but a fair kicker with the queen. We get a king, queen, jack flop. Not much doing here for Tremendo. Has a 3 of a kind draw. Leads out half pot. Bum body bum. Pass with the backdoor diamond draw and a straight draw to the 10. Makes 2 pair on the 3 of clubs river. Tremendo betting half pot again, which is super interesting. He's got 5s again. He blocks ace 10. Pass calls, and we get a 5 on the river. Alrighty, poker stars. Tremendo does check it on over. Will pass rep the ace 10. Not likely with 2 pairs. Just gonna check and see the horrific river. We'll see if he gets pissed off. Or if he just takes it like a champ. No emoji thrown. No comments at all made. Taking it like a champ. Making the right call down on flop and turn. Horrific river. And you didn't even know it. We get another set here, this time for Sir Watts. Not much doing there for Wizzo Wizzo. Does have some backdoor straight draws. Might want to come along to the turn. Has no clubs, so what the hell, why would he? Do-ba-da-do. Queen, queen, 8 deuce for Tremendo. Playing with 60 big blinds. We'll lay it down. King Jack 5-3 with the suited king. Wizzo Wizzo limps in. Jack 7-3-3 for Watts with the suit. Goes for the raise. Oh, he's got 2 suits, sorry. Ace King 6 flop. That's middle pair. Backdoor flush draw. Backdoor straight draw for Wizzo Wizzo. Sir Watts with the pair of 3s. Backdoor heart draw to go along with that. Could also bank off a straight draw to the 5-4. No, we get a 10 of hearts on the turn. Interesting card. Sir Watts does pick up plenty of equity here to the hearts. Not a queen. Nope. 1.2 million chips in the middle. Sir Watts bets about 1 million chips and the pair of kings does find the fold there. Nice pot sliding Sir Watts' way. Aces with the suit for pass. Then we got a double suited ace king 7-3 for Wizzo Wizzo. Jack Jack 8-5 for Sir Watts. And then Jack 4-3 deuce for Tremendo. Do we go 4 ways to the flop here? Nope. Sir Watts folds the small. What in the world is this flop? 5-3 deuce. Bottom 2 for Tremendo, leading half pot. Pass. What do we got here? The heart draw. An overpair. Wizzo Wizzo with a straight draw to the 4. Tremendo as well has a straight draw to the ace or the 6. Backdoor club draw. Pass says let's get this one in here. Slightly, might be the equity favorite, but his hand is slightly behind right now. And we get the 2 pair to fold. Nicely done by pass. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, if he is to get it in there, and he is the slight equity favorite, it's not too bad just to take it down on the flop. As we see Sir Watts open the aces, double suited. Ace Queen 10, 2 for pass in the big blind. The Queen's suited. Pass does come along. King 9-6 flop. 2 clubs for Watts. Got a straight draw to the jack. For pass. Has a club blocker, but surely would want more than just a straight draw to the jack here. Half pot size bet from Watts in position, and that little pot will slide his way. Jack Jack 10-8 with a suit. Watts will raise it on up. Pass with the 6-9. We'll have to probably lay it down. Do-ba-da-do. Would be kind of cool to play call. Let's go to try to flop a set. It's not double suited, but he does have the 1 suit. It's dominated. That's why 6-9 feels like a fold. Passes. I can't even show that I've got 6-9. I just have to fold. Move along. King 7-5 flop. Wizzo Wizzo. Open-ended to the 3 or 8. Also has a backdoor Jack 10 straight draw. Flop goes check check 4 on the turn. Wizzo Wizzo with the bottom pair and the straight blocker. Watts with the jacks has no redraw. Has a straight blocker as well. We see a huge bet from Wizzo Wizzo and jacks quickly fold. Nice play there by Wizzo Wizzo to steal that little pot. Tremendo. King Queen 8-7. Probably gonna fold. Ace 8-7-5 for pass. Double suited. We'll see if he plays it. Wizzo in the small with double suited aces. Tremendo does open it on up to 2.5x. Pass might come along. Pass calls. Wizzo. Double suited aces is a 3-bet. Full pot size 3-bet. Do we ever make it smaller? I don't think so. Ah, maybe so. We did make it a little bit, didn't we? Where's this full pot? Stay connected, PokerStars. Still got a long way to go. Anyways, pass with a decision here. About 850k to call. With the Ace 8-7-5 double suited. We have about 2.7 behind. We get a Jack 9-9 flop. This is all Wizzo's flop. Blocks the boat. Has the flush draw and backdoor flush draws backup equity. Very small bet though. Pass with the straight draw to the 10. That's about it though. They're just gonna find the fold. Even facing the small bet. So that's unfortunate. Passes down to 2.7 million chips. In 4th place by a little bit. By almost double. Tremendo with 5 million chips and the aces in the big blind. Has the diamond suit. Do. Wizzo with the queen jack. 10-4 with the suited queen. Facing the 3-bet quickly folds. Queen jack 5 for Sir Watts on the button. We'll see if he plays this. Goes for the 3x raise. Pass with king 8-6 in the big blind. 1 king is suited. It's a dominating suit. To Sir Watts' jack high clubs. 3-bet comes on in. Sir Watts might just lay it down here. And they do. So some chips slide over to pass his way. There's a king 9 jack in the small blind. This will be weird. Facing a 2.5x open from Tremendo's 10-10 9-8. Ba-ba-dee-doo. We got queens waiting in the big blind with a 7-5 of the same suit. Oh, 3-bet comes in from pass. This will probably get through, even though Tremendo has a very playable 10-10 9-8 with suit. Maybe we want to go to the flop. 600k to go into 1.8. We are getting a fair price. We're really going to have to hit our hand here. 5-4-3. Nope. That's not what we're looking for with 10-10 9-8. Although we are still ahead of high card hands. Pass might put in a small bet here with a jack. Backdoor flush draw to the hearts. Oh, we just bet full pot. Jacks are good enough for pass to stick it on in here. If we can get a call from 10s, wouldn't that be something? No, not this time. The bet will just buy the pot. 4 million chips for pass now. Just slightly behind Tremendo with 4.5 mil. Ooh, looks like we have a little break here. Well, last time it took about 30 seconds. I was just asking the whole time, what's going on, PokerStars? We'll see how long this break takes. Doesn't look like they're talking out a deal. What's going on, PokerStars? Let's throw some cards around. Boo buddy doo 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 buddy doo. are back. King, queen, 9, 7 goes for the 3.5x open from pass. Looks like this will get through pre. Sir Watt in the tank. Oh, we are going to call the king 6-5-3, no suit. Flop a straight draw to the 4-9. Pass with a straight draw to the 6 or jack. Nope, the jack. Oh yeah, the jack will do. He has queen 9. Has backdoor spades as well. Sir Watts, I didn't realize, has the front door flush. Flush draw, that is. And he banks it on the turn. Pass with just pair 7s. Probably isn't putting a chip in the middle. The second nuts for Sir Watts. Leads out small. Giving pass a price to come along if he wants to. King, queen, 9, 7. Oh, he does find the call and we get a deuce on the river. Plenty of draws out there. Dum-ba-dee-dum, da-dum-ba-dee-doo. Jack 9 did flop a straight. Hard to get there on the turn. Full houses get there on the river. And we got king, queen, 9, 7. Half pot size bet from Watts will get through. Right around 15 million chips for him. Dum 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 dum. Aces for Wizzo Wizzo. No suit with them, but still very playable hand here. Ace queen, ace 8. 3x open from the button. Tremendo with a king 6-4-3 with the suited to the diamond. Lays it down. We move along. What's gonna happen here? We got queens in the small with the suited ace. Queen jack 9 5 for Watts with the suited queen. We'll go for the 3x open. Call from the small. Jack 4-3 2 for pass in the big blind. Has to call 200k into what would be 940. They just let it go. Jack 4-2 flop. 2 hearts for Watts with the top pair. Queens are still good for the time being, but probably an equity underdog. 10 of hearts on the turn after the flop goes check check. Sir Watts has the board locked up. Tremendo could make some fake outs with a 5 or a king. Instead we get a 10 on the river. Bum 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 bum. 740k in the middle. Tremendo checks it over. Dum da dum dum da dum bum bum. Watts bets about half pot. Tremendo goes into the thinking tank. The 3's pretty irrelevant here. The 3 of diamonds. Your queen could be the best hand. You do block some straight draws that probably would have bluffed on the turn. Tremendo does find the call there with the queen. Sees the bad news. Sir Watts is over 15 million chips. Tremendo's going to be right back in there with the ace king 10-5 double suited, and we got king with a suit for Wizzo Wizzo in the big blind. 34 blinds behind. We do just get a call pre-flop from Wizzo Wizzo's kings. Jack 10-9 flop. Queen on the turn. That will give Tremendo the nuts. No redraw for Wizzo Wizzo. Does double block the straight. Too bad. Wizzo Wizzo leading out pot. That's bad timing for him. Tremendo re-raises for damn near all his chips. And Wizzo Wizzo will lay it down. $4.7 million chips for Tremendo. Re-establishing a comfy lead over pass. 7-6-3-3 for Wizzo. Wizzo is gonna fold, and he's just gonna move along. Ace Queen Jack 5 with no suit on the button for Wizzo Wizzo. We'll see if he opens it up. Double suited King Queen 9-8 for Watts. Facing a 3x open. Plays 3-bet. Tremendo with the Jack 9-8-7. Gonna have to reluctantly fold now. And Wizzo Wizzo in a weird spot also just finds the fold. Ace Queen Jack 4. Watts on the button. Excuse me, opens it up. 3-8s for pass. With a suited 9. Gonna have to fold surely. Right? Ace 8-6-6. Watts will just fold now that he's up to 16 million chips. Just look to play some good hands. Put some pressure on the shorties. From the button, he's done a great job of that. From the cutoff, hasn't done too much opening into Wizzo Wizzo's big blind. At least it hasn't been one of the more common positions we've seen. Ace Queen 10-8 pass limps in. Wizzo Wizzo with the King 9 3 deuce with a suited king, checks it back. 10-9-4 flop. Top pair and a straight draw to the Jack for pass. They're gonna start things off with a check. Wizzo Wizzo doesn't have no spade draw. There's a Jack on the turn for pass. Giving him the Queen 8 straight. King Queen is the nards. $240K in the middle. Pass bets 168,000. Wizzo Wizzo has a straight draw to the Queen. Other than that, just the pair of 9s with the King kicker. Buying the fold. Well, unless PokerStars wants to put a Queen on the river, it's not likely. And the pair of 9s folds. We move along. Aces for pass. King 10-9-8 with the suit for Watts in the big blind. We might be going to a flop here. Pass with 32 blinds. Raise in full pot. Watts in the big blind with 160 bigs. Plays call Jack 4-3 flop. Pass with a straight draw to the 2. Watts with some backdoor equity. He's gonna need to see a real small bet to continue here. A 7 or Queen would be pretty fun for Watts' hand. A spade would be bad news for him. Facing the half pot size bet, he's just gonna quickly fold. Fold around to Watts in the small blind with the King Queen 6-5. Going 3x. Jack 7-4-2 for Tremendo folds. Ace 8, King 7 for Wizzo Wizzo. Double suited, raising 2.5. King Jack 9 for Tremendo in the small blind. We'll see what he does with it. Blaze call. Pass with some junky shit, lets it go. 8-3 deuce flop. Second nut flush draw for Wizzo Wizzo. Kings are still good for the time being. Wizzo Wizzo with the toppest of pairs has the 2-pair draw. Do betty do. A king would obviously be a dirty out. There's only one left. Wizzo Wizzo bets a 3rd. Tremendo does have the backdoor heart draw. Has a backdoor straight draw to 7-10 as well. Queen 10. Just finds the call. Picks up a 6 of spades on the turn. Picks it up as if that gave him some equity. No, it didn't. It is a brick though. Wizzo Wizzo still sitting here with the pair of 8s. Da-da-ba-dee-doo. Checks back the turn. We get a queen of clubs on the river. So the flush draw brick. Straight draws brick. Kings are good for Tremendo. And the 1 million chips in the middle if he can just hang in there. No bets come in. 1 million chips slide Tremendo's way as the blinds go up. Do-ba-da-do-da-do-ba-dee-doo-da. Double suited 7s for Watts. With some 2 other connected cards. Plays raise 3x. Pass with 10s and 7s. Gets priced out of the pot. Ace King 6-3 also folds. Watts just takes it down pre. Ooh, King Queen Jack 10 for Tremendo. Doesn't look like too much playability from the other 3. Watts with a 9-7-4 deuce in the big blind. We'll see if he's priced in to come along. Wizzo Wizzo with a suited ace. In the small. I don't think this is an advantageous place to play. An advantageous hand to play anyways. Wizzo folds. Watts does call with the double suited shit. Flops a straight draw to the 5. Backdoor clubs and backdoor spades. Tremendo with one hell of a straight draw. King Jack 10 will all complete the Broadway. 600k to go for Watts. No pair, just a shitty straight draw. Huge bet. No flush draw on the board. Probably just gonna fold. Bow, 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 bow. Ace Jack 10-9 for pass. It's double suited. The most playable hand. We'll see if Ace Queen 8 deuce comes along. Probably not for Tremendo. We just don't necessarily need to go to the flop here. Just under 3x is the open size. Queen 10-8 deuce for Watts. Suited queen will fold. Tremendo folds. Pass gets it through. Jack 10-8-7 for Watts. Might face an open from the ace queen. Ace king queen 2 with the suited ace from Wizzo Wizzo. In that case, I think Watts might just fold. Let's see if we want to come along. Nope. 4 connected cards. We'll just let them go. Pass is double suited in the big blind. The queen deuce is dominated. The 3 and 10 are live. Just gonna find the fold pre. Ace king queen 4 for Watts. Sticking with a 3x open size. Queen jack 6 deuce for Tremendo. Thinking things through. We'll lay it down. Pass. Folds the small. Jack 10-7-3 double suited in the big blind for Wizzo. Bow, 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 bow. Wizzo does play the hand. 4-4-2 flop. That's 3 of a kind for Watts. Jack shit for Wizzo Wizzo. Has some backdoor draws to the diamonds, hearts. 5-6 would complete a straight. Pretty small bet from the 3 of a kind. 200k into 822. Bringing the pot total to 1 million chips. Wizzo Wizzo says, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna fold. Do 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 buddy do. Tremendo king 9-5-4 folds. 7-5-6-3 for Wizzo Wizzo in the small blind. Watts disconnects. facing the limp. Connect back. Come on, Watts, come back to the table. Watts in the tank with the Queen Jack 7-3 double suited. Internet connection. Come on back. Man, I wish I could sing better. Just like spontaneously come up with lyrics. Sir Watts, where are you? Come back. Sir Watts. Nobody's saying anything as we all just patiently wait around. Sir Watch is teaching us a lesson on patience here now on the final table. Does finally come back. Goes for the re-raise. 6-5 king flop. Got a straight draw to the 4 for Watts with the heart draw. 2 pair for Wizzo. Get a 5 on the turn, completing the boat. Wizzo has his pot locked up. Leading out for 600k. Watts doesn't necessarily want to see this large ass bet. Might just price him out of the pot here and now. Watts puts in the raise, repping king. Oh my lord, and Wizzo is going to be put in a pickle here. 1.462 million chips is the bet, bringing the pot total to 2.8 with about another 800k call in there. Sizing up a river jam, 10 of hearts on the river. Are we going for value now that we made a flush, or do we just check it back and hope to win the 3.6 in the middle? Who the hell knows? Wizzo might just lead jam? That sounds weird. Yeah, surely we just check it over. Hope our opponent goes all in. Sir Watts with one of the better flushes here with the jack high flush. Does just check it back. Very nicely done. The boat takes down the 3.6 million chip pot. So back up to 7.3 million chips for Wizzo. We got an ace queen 5-4 for pass. They're just gonna pass on it. Do. Sir Watts with the 7-6-5-2 in the small blind. Bum, limping it in. Tremendo with the queen jack 8-3 with the suited queen jack. Probably gonna check it back. King 8-2 flop. Got a pair of 2s versus a pair of 8s. Nobody with a flush draw. Got some backdoor straight equities. The pot's real small. Tremendo in the tank. We'll check it back. Aces diamonds on the turn. 7-6-5-2 picks up no equity here. Dum. Does have the 2 pair draw to the 7, 6, or 5. They can't be a diamond. A deuce would also work. 288k in the middle. Straight draw and flush draw for Tremendo. Beautiful ace of diamonds on the turn here. Tremendo bets pot. Watts quickly folds and we move along. Jack 9-4-3 hits the muck. Jack 7-5-3 for Tremendo. Limping it in with the suited jack. 6-9 deuce for pass. 7-5-4 flop. 6-9 with a straight draw to the 8. 6 deuce with the straight draw to the 3. Pass has some equity here. A 2 could also give him the best hand. Tremendo with a 7-5 with the flush draw. Picks up a third pair on the turn here, and it's obviously bad news as pass makes the straight. 3 pair leads out for half pot. 7-5-3 your spade, and Tremendo will take this pot down. We get an 8 of hearts on the river. That won't do for the 3 pair. 6-9 improves to the nuts. And I've been doing this so fucking long, my headphones died. Pass with the nuts. Bet and pot. It's just like that. We're out of sound. Things are gonna be quiet and it's gonna get weird. Pass gets it through. That's bad timing as he had the nuts. We wanted a call there, Poker Stars. Give him something more than 3 pairs. Maybe next time. 8-6-5-4 for pass in the small blind. Let's go for the limp. Limps it on in. Wizzo with the queen 6-6 deuce. With the suited queen. Wizzo in the tank. Do betty do do ba ba betty boo. Wizzo checks it back. Queen 5-2 flop. Interesting. 2 hearts out there for pass. Has a pair of 5s. So has some 2 pair outs to the 8 or 4. 3 of a kind out to the 5. Bum 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 bum. Sorry, Wizzo with 2 pairs. Top 2. Their top and bottom pair. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this hand. Put my glasses back on. Oh, yes, everything's clear now. 7 on the turn. Look at the straight draw for pass. A 3. A 6, an 8, a 9. Any heart will do. Has the 2 pair outs. 3 of a kind outs. Sorry, the 2 pair outs won't work again because I keep forgetting Wizzo has top and bottom. So he's got the 3 of a kind out, heart draw, and straight outs. Leads out for full pot. We get a 4 on the river. That will do. 8-6 makes the nuts. Wizzo with the double straight blocker as well. Might feel inclined to find the call down here. Pass goes in the tank here. Sizing up the river bet. Surely we don't check it on over. Not with the frickin' nuts. 216k is the bet. Super small. Queen 2 is gonna have a hard time folding here. Queen 2 6-6 blocking 6-8 and 6-3. Ace 3 is a straight that you don't block. Sometimes you might just lose here. The bet is so small. If Wizzo can find the fold, that would be one hell of an impressive fold. They go deep in the tank. Poker Stars just wants to know I'm still here. What a crazy long event this has been. I don't even know when I started. The Queen 2 does find the call, given the great price. Pass takes down a nice pot, up to 4.4 million chips now. Queen 10-10-3 for pass. We'll lay it down. 7-7-5-4 for Wizzo in the small blind. Limps it in. 8-8-6 deuce. Checks it back. Queen 3-2 flop. Wizzo with a straight draw to the ace or 6. Checks it on over. There's the ace for him. No redraw for Watts. 240k is the bet from Wizzo Wizzo. And that will get through. 3 sevens with a suited ace for Watts. We'll see if he plays this one. Does go for the limp. Kings for Tremendo, no suit. I guess he's got the spades with the 8-4. And he's going to flop top set with the spade draw. Blocking the set of 4s. He's still going to bet a big blind. Or is that a big blind? Looks like it. Yep, it's a big blind. Wizzo Wizzo with the ace jack 7-4 with the hearts to boot. Bets about 3 big blinds. King Queen 9-6 double suited for Watts. We'll see if he comes along. Puts in the 3-bet here. Seems like he's gonna price everybody out of the pot with this big bet. Don't think the ace jack 7-4 is gonna find the call. Tremendo folds 10-8 7-7. Bam baddy bam. Wizzo Wizzo. Find the fold. Or let's go to the flop. He does have the dominating heart. Wizzo folds. Nice little pot sliding Watts' way. Hanging out at that 14 million chip mark. After a big bluff didn't get through. 8-7-6 deuce for Tremendo. Lays it down. King King Jack 3 for pass. From the small blind, he's done a lot of limping here. Limping it in. Queen 10-9 deuce for Wizzo Wizzo. Flopping top pair, backdoor spade draw. Kings are still good for pass. We'll see how he goes about things here. Starts things off with a check. Getting the ace of clubs on the turn. Get a couple straight draws. Nope. Just pass, drawing to a 10. The kings are good. Wizzo Wizzo needs a queen. Pass, betting real large. Trying to get called by some draws and shit. Wizzo Wizzo. Let's the queens go. Bum 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 bum. Looks like a couple shit hands here. King Queen 6-3. Are we gonna limp it in? Got a King Queen 9-4 waiting in the big blind. Watts gets a walk. Double suited deuces for Wizzo Wizzo. Lays it down. A7-6-4, limping it in with the suit. King Queen 6-4 with the suit. Waiting in the big blind, checks it back. 7-3-2 flop. 6-4 with a straight draw to the 5. Backdoor diamond draw does come in on the turn here with the 8 of diamonds. Turn goes check check. We get a jack of clubs on the river. What the hell is even going on here? Is it no pair versus no pair? Nope, pair 7s for Watts. Facing the bet, will still find the fold. Tremendo steals that little one away from him. Looks like a walk for pass with the King Queen 9-3. 5.4 mil for pass, 5.2 for Tremendo. Wizzo Wizzo. Not too far ahead with 6 million chips now. Jack 10-6 forward for Tremendo. We'll let it go, surely. Oh, he goes for the 3x raise. Interesting. Haven't seen too many wide opens here from Tremendo. Jack 7-7-4 for pass. Will fold. King 7-6-5 for Wizzo Wizzo defends the big blind, flops open-ended with a pair of fives. 3-8 or backdoor hearts for Wizzo Wizzo. 6 would do. Tremendo would also improve. Or no, sorry. Tremendo has 2 pair right now. So Wizzo Wizzo doesn't have the 2 pair outs. He could bang off a 5, a 3, 8, or hearts. A king would work. Sorry, this hand is so all over the board, as Wizzo Wizzo does go for the check raise with his straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and the perceived 2 pair draw. Tremendo does fold the 10-4. Nice play by Wizzo Wizzo. Although 2 pair might be a slight dog. I wonder what the equities look like on the flop there. Tremendo says, well, at worst I'm getting it in versus the set of 5s. Or some sort of rapidy doodah straight draw. At best I'm getting it in against a 2 pair draw with a straight draw and the backdoor flush draw. Not easy to call it off in that sort of situation for Tremendo, so they just find the fold. They are in last place, but just barely. Wizzo Wizzo with the top pair checks things over. 8-7-5 with a rapidy doodah. Sir Watts bets half pot. 4, 5, 7, 8, or 10 will do. We get the 7 of hearts on the turn. Both players with a heart draw. Sir Watts has the straight flush draw, but the 4 of hearts is dead, or in Wizzo Wizzo's hand. So he's gonna need the 9 of hearts on the river here. Or just for the straight to hold up. Do ba da do da da ba dee do. The bet is large. Wizzo Wizzo's gonna have a hard time folding here. He does block 10-8. Weird hand here. We get the 9 of diamonds on the river. So no straight flush. No flush for Wizzo Wizzo. Got a paired board. Ace 10 versus the 8-5 straight, and it checks down. 1.4 million chips sliding Watts' way. Almost back to 15 mil. Do 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 do. 10s with a suit for a Wizzo. On the button. Thinking things through, laying them down. Ace King Jack 6 with a suited ace for Tremendo in the big blind, facing the standard limp, goes for the 3x raise. Sir Watts with the Queen Jack 5 deuce might just lay this one down. Is Jack suited? He says I'm gonna come along to the Queen 7-7 flop. Top pair for Watts. No pair for Tremendo. Has the backdoor spades and some backdoor straight draws. An ace for King would also work. Ace of diamonds on the turn. Watts now just drawing to the Queen. Doopity doo. With the flush draw out there and some straight draws out there, you figured Tremendo would have put out a bet on the turn maybe. Says let's just go to the river. Get a king of clubs. Tremendo with the straight blocker and top 2. We'll just check this pot down after raising pre-flop. Not the best flop in the world. So Tremendo says I'm just gonna show down my top 2. Do 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 do. 9-7-5-3 raising the button for Watts. King's in the big blind, or sorry, small blind. Jack's in the big blind. Both the blinds with the suited ace as well. We get a 3-bet from Tremendo. Pass, might just have to let this go now. They do find the fold. Watts not necessarily getting the best price. His cards are going to be live here. Or you should expect them to be live. So we place call. Flops the straight draw to the 6. Has the spade draw. Holy shit. 2.5 million chips in the middle. Is Tremendo's life going to be on the line? He bets full pot. Watts quickly jams. Tremendo calls 36% for Tremendo. He needs to hold. 4 on the turn is clean. 4 of spades on the river is doity. Just like that. 9.7 million chips slide Watts' way. We finally lose Tremendo. Watts gets aces with the suit. 10-7-4-3 will just fold though. Just like that. Almost 20 million chips for Watts now. Another pocket aces. Double suited this time. Pass with the ace king queen 8 with a suited king. 3x raise from the aces. Woo wee wah. Do. Pass is thinking about raising. Does stick in the 3-bet. Hard not to get in the aces here. Do gotta do da betty dum. Watts jams in the aces. Ace king queen 8 in the tank. We'll stick it in here. Passes life is on the line with 21%. Flops the 2 pair outs. 10 on the turn. That will do for the straight. There's still the diamond draw for Watts. And as well, the king could have chopped. The ace on the river is just 3 of a kind. Pass does get a little lucky there, getting in with like 28% or so. Do surviving. Has the 7-4-3-2 double suited. Limping it in. King 10-7 deuce for Wizzo. Checks it back. 7-6-2 flop. Looks like it's almost a straight for pass. Missing the 5. Has a pair of 4s and 2s. Wizzo just with the bottom pair. Makes top and bottom on the turn though. 4-2 doesn't look like it wants, but too many chips in the middle. Bottom 2 pair. Checks it over. Wizzo with top and bottom. Bets quite large on the turn here. Plenty of draws to call him. That could call him. Pass calls. Ace on the river. This pot will slide Wizzo's way. Dum daddy dum. Ace king 8-8 for pass. Wizzo with a suited ace. Sees the 3x from the button. Might just fold this one here. Wizzo folds. Ace queen 8-5 defends the big blind. Flops a straight draw to the 6. Top pair, top kicker, and the backdoor nut flush draw to spades. Pass with a backdoor club draw. A king would work, an 8 would work. Bets half pot. Hard to fold on the flop here if you're Sir Watts. So many damn draws out there. Plays call. We get a queen of clubs on the turn. Interesting card. Board pairs. Pass picks up a flush draw. 1.6 million chips in the middle. We'll see if he's going to fight for it on the turn here. Plays check. We get a 7 on the river. So no boat for Watts. Just a pair of 8s for pass. Watts bets pot and the 8s quickly fold. Queen for 3 for Wizzo will limp in. Sir Watts with the king 9 for deuce. Gonna fold. Suited ace with a pocket pair for pass in the big blind. We're going to a flop one way or another, dealer. Pass checks it back. 5-3-2 flop. 2 clubs out there for both players. Queens are still good. Wizzo Wizzo with the straight trot to the ace or six. Looks like a club could be good. Bets a big blind. Bam, 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 bam. Pass. Really looking for a club. A 7 would also be interesting. We get the 10 of clubs on the turn here. Got the frickin' nuts versus the third nuts. Wizzo Wizzo in position. It's hard not to go for some value here. Don't want to give him a free card. Don't want the board to pair. Looks like 66% or so. 2/3-ish. Boo bitty boo. Maybe a little bit less. Almost closer to half pot. Pass. Deep in the tank. Thinking about the check raise on the on the turn here. Does stick it in. 1.6 mil is the total bet. When Wizzo Wizzo calls, it'll put about 3.8 million chips in the middle. About 4.7 behind. We got a 6 of diamonds on the turn. Or sorry, river. My bad. Ace 7 is the nuts. Wizzo Wizzo. What the hell do we do here with the third nuts? Probably call. We have one hell of a hero fold. Pass deep in the tank. Betting full pot. Just like a monster. I was wondering, do you ever size down here? Try to just make sure you ensure a call from the worst flushes. Betting full pot looks so damn scary. But what would you do with your bluffs here? Surely you would do the same. No surprise to see Wizzo Wizzo call down there. What a showing from Wizzo Wizzo, who's down to about 8 bigs now. They played so damn patiently. They make the third nuts, and it ends up being the losing hand. Pass benefiting from that cooler as kings stick it in here. Ace King Jack 9 calls it off. Ace on the flop. We need to see a jack dealer. Nope, a king would have worked as well. In the end, we lose Wizzo Wizzo very quickly, making 75k in what I believe is the 10k main event. Woo-wee-wee-wah. Man, it's been such a patient game so far, just from everybody. And we got a nice super deep heads-up battle, just a little bit under 100 big blinds deep. Got a king 9-9-4 for pass. Top pair of jacks for Sir Watts. Oh, he's got top 2, sorry, jack 4. Picking up a flush draw and a straight draw on the turn here. Betting full pot. And Watts folds the 9s. Or sorry, pass folds the 9s. Okay. Sorry, I've been doing this for a couple hours now. Let's try to get back in the game. Ace, King, Queen, 7, double suited for Watts. Shit hand for pass. They'll pass on it. King Jack 7-5 for pass. Goes for the big sizing pre. Watts calls with the 10-10-5-3. 10s are no good as we see the King 7-5 flop. 3 pair for pass. Watts is just looking for a 10. Facing a large ass bet. Just gonna fold on the flop most likely. Putting a check raise for fun. Nope, you're not now. Ace King 9-6 for Watts in position. Looks like a raise and take it. I am very lucky versus people better than me. Heads up if you want to chop. Very honest of Watts. Very honest of him. Do buddy do. Pass says you'll let him know you'll think about it. Ace 10-10-9 for pass with the suited ace. Got another pocket pair of 10s, but a much more shittier 5-3 to boot. Calls the big blind. Jack 9-7 flop. No diamonds out there for pass, but a heart for Watts. Straight draw to the 8 for pass. We'll bet and take it down on the flop. Queen, queen, ace 4 for Watts. Pass with the ace, queen, jack 2. The ace is suited. Puts in the 3-bet. Hard to fold queens. Doesn't know this, but his suit is dominated. Boom, boom, boom. Jack, or sorry. 9, 8, 7 flop. 2 diamonds that don't matter for either player. Got 1 spade that doesn't matter either. Pass blocking jack 10 here. Betting small. And the queens quickly fold. Nicely done by pass. Doopity doo doo ba ba betty boo. Bum ba bum bum. 9, 9, 8, 6 for Watts. Queen, queen, jack 10 for pass. Looks like another 3-bet incoming. Oh, no, just kidding. Queens with the call. Queens with the suit. And they pick up the flush draw. Watts with an overpair checks it back. He binks the set on the turn. The flush completes. Pass with a straight flush out to the 7. I mean, he's got the best hand right now. He doesn't need to hit it. 7 of clubs, that is. For the straight flush. Don't we all want to see a straight flush? Watts getting a fair price to come along to the river, trying to boat up. 7 of spades. Not quite what we're looking for. Pass with the 3rd nuts in the heads up battle. 1.4 million chips in the middle, and the bet is super small here. Jack 10 completes it straight. Clubs were there on the turn. Does a set bet like this? Do 8s and 4s go for value like this? It's a weird spot with a small bet on the river here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a call. Deep in the tank is Watts. Nice fold with the set. Getting a good price on the turn to boat up. Sticks to the plan on the river. Says, I didn't boat up. That means you are good. Do buddy do do ba ba buddy do do do. Limp pot. Interesting stuff. Queen jack 6 flop. Got a heart draw and straight draw for pass. 8 king or heart. Ace jack for Watts. Out of position. Sees a large bet. Weird pot here. We're pretty well tied up, so this is going to be the one that swings somebody into first place. We'll see if it gets large or not. Watts will just fold the flop. So pass takes the slight lead. Keeping things nice and tight. Got jacks versus the ace king 9-4 of the same suit. Pass defends the big, flops top pair with the best kicker. Ace jack for Watts. Looking for a jack or a 10. We got a 3 of diamonds on the turn. Bum buddy bum. Pass. Betting real small once again. Hard to fold top pair with a fair kicker. We get the queen of clubs on the river. Watts blocking king jack. Don't know if that'll come into the call on the river. Don't even think pass bets for value. We're going to find out everything though. Pass bets small again. I should have just known. Keeping the small sizing in there, so we could still have like 10x or a full house even. Trying to keep Watts in the hand using the small sizing. Looks like he ended up finding the call, as we see pass show down the 2 pair with the ace or the king kicker. Nice pot going past his way. Up to 6 million chips. Has a flush draw here. Backdoor straight draw. Sir Watts with the pair of queens. Flop goes check check. 5 on the turn. So pass does pick up the straight outs. To 3 or 8. Or sorry, 3. Nope. 4 or 9. Holy shit. 4, 9 spade or jack will do. Mm-hmm. A big bet will work as well. Queen 3 with no redraw. Watch just folds on the turn, of course. Do. Queen 3 deuce for Watts. Uses the big sizing. 10-9-6-4 defends the big. 8-7 queen flop. Top set versus the open ender. Holy shit. Oh, it's even a wrap. Right? A 5, a 6, a 9, an 8, or a jack. They all work for pass versus top set. Top set with the backdoor heart draw. We do see the check raise on the flop from pass. Watts in position with the nuts. Did we just get this in on the flop? Surely not. We're way too deep for that. Right? Oh my lord, the bet is 5.8 million chips. Pass says, holy shit. Well, I guess you got the queen, my friend. And now he's got to count out all his outs. And he says, am I priced in or do I just fold and move along? He's going to call and we see a 4 on the turn. 4 diamonds. That's no help for pass. 12 million chips in the middle. Sir Watts has 7 behind. Weird spot for pass who has about 11 million chips. Could lead jam. That feels weird. 6-5 completes and you've got a 6. He leads jams. Quick call from the queen. And a 3 on the river is a brick, so passes down to 3.7 million chips. Huge pot. 26 million and a half chips sliding Sir Watts' way. Holy shit. Now we got a flush draw and a pair versus the straight draw and a weak pair of 10s. Get a jack on the turn here. Locks up the board for pass, as the one remaining 10 would give pass the better boat. Bam. Well, it would be kind of interesting to see that 10 come on the river here. I don't think Watts pays off a turn bet. It's super small. The pot's small. We're about to find out. Watts does call. We get a 3 of spades. Jack 10 still good here. Do. Sir Watts. Bum. Facing the river bat, we'll find the fold. Pass hanging in there with just under 4 million chips. 8-6-3-2 goes for the open. Get a call from the ace 9-7-6 flopping top pair. Pretty stupid spot for pass, but we'll see how he navigates this one. Watts betting half pot with the bottom pair, backdoor heart draw. Backdoor straight draw to the 4-5 as well. Pass does just fold top pair on the flop here. Like I was saying, just is such a difficult spot playing ace 9. No real obvious redraws. Ace 9-7-3 for pass, limping in. Watts with the jack 8-5-2. Watts in the tank. Checks. Jack 4-4 flop. Top pair for Watts. Backdoor straight draw for pass. Couple of them. Bum. We get a king of hearts on the turn here. Doesn't give pass any help. He's gonna need an ace or to buy the pot. Pass does elect to bet on the king turn. Watts just with the pair of jacks. No redraw. Lets it go. Nice little steal there from pass. Do. Oh, we're getting a little break, it looks like. Whoo, Sir Watts sits out for a little bit. That means break time. What a final table so far. I don't even know what to say about it. It's been going on for like 2 hours, 3 hours or something. Let's make sure things are still working. Yep, we still got the mic going. We don't got any sound. I'll see if we can turn the headphones back on. That would always be cool to hear the little cards flying around. Everybody loves to hear that. Sound is back. Alrighty, so the next time the cards start flying, we're gonna hear it. It is kind of weird. Passes down to 3.6 million chips. They did hang out a long time, five-handed with the 4 million. Pass. Finally says, yeah, I'll take the even chop. Yeah, of course. Now that the chip advantage is like 20 to 1. It is interesting. Sir Watts does find himself to be the weaker of the two players. Or maybe this is just tongue-in-cheek. But nonetheless, Watts offered the deal. Pass said he's going to think about it. We just got a cooler of a situation. Top set versus a rapidy doodah. Pass calls the 3-bet on the flop. Jams it all in on the turn. Repping the straight that got there. And Sir Watts says, I'll think about it. Just like Pass had said to him earlier. That's funny shit. Ace deuce with the top and bottom pair for Pass. Not too much doing for Watts. We'll let it go. So as I was saying, Pass hung out with the 4 million chips 5-handed, I think it was, for quite a while. Eventually got it in versus Sir Watts' aces. Got quite lucky, made the Broadway straight. Picked up a huge chip stack. Brought him up to about 8 million chips. Then eventually Wizzo made their exit as they faced some sort of cooler situation. I don't quite remember what it was. In the end, we find ourselves here. Sir Watts with 25 million chips. Pass with King Queen. 3-2, no pair until the turn here. 4.4 million chips with 900k in the middle. Watts with the open-ended straight draw. Ace or 9 would work for him. Don't know if he's going to call a bet if it comes in on the turn here, though. It does not. We get the 9 of diamonds on the river. Watts makes the straight. Pass doesn't have the flush. Pass doesn't have the boat. Watts leads quite large, about 75%. Straight blocker, flush blocker with a 3 of diamonds. Probably wants a better diamond blocker. Might even want to call down with the Jack 10 something. Surely you're going to have to find more than that, but Pass does just lay down the top pair with the shitty flush blocker. King, Queen, 7-3 with the suit. Goes for the big size from the button. Pass calls the 8-6 deuce, Jack 5-6 flop. Sir Watts with the straight draw to the 4. Some betting could also buy the pot here. We get an ace on the turn, so he picks up a straight draw to the 10. Pass sitting here with a pair of 6s with an 8 kicker. Are we going to lead the turn? No. Pass checks it over. Sir Watts with quite the draw. We see a 3 of diamonds on the river. That will not do. Any King, Queen, 10, 7, or 4. We get the 3 of diamonds. Pass. Does bet pot? Turns his hand into a bluff as my headphones die again? Anyways. Do. We get a limp from the King, Queen, 7 deuce. Sir Watts raises up the Ace, Kings, 3-5. Pass does call. We both flop top pair. Straight draw for Sir Watts. A deuce or 7. Would also give pass 2 pairs. What an interesting little hand brewing here. Pass with the top pair. Doesn't have the club draw. Weird spot. Facing the full pot size bet on the flop. Limp. Call the raise. Lead for pot. Ace king 6-4. Sorry, king 6-4 flop. Nice fold from the king queen there from pass. Holy shit, his outs were just dead. Needed a queen and a queen only. Do buddy do 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 do. Watts flops pretty well again here with 3 of a kind. Not much doing for the king 9-7-3. Has some backdoor equity, but even facing the small bet, we might just fold on the flop here. Deep in the tank, Pass is thinking things through, will eventually find the fold. Queen 7-3-3 limps it in. Jack 10-6-2 checks it back. Straight draw on a pair for Watts. Pass with the top pair, backdoor heart draw, 3 of a kind draw to the 3. Instead we get an ace of diamonds on the turn. Jack 10 still with that straight draw, pass still with a 3 of a kind draw, and the best hand with top, or not the top pair, but the pair queen, sorry. 8 completes the straight. Just a pair of queens for pass. Has a straight blocker with a 7. Would probably prefer a jack or 10 though. Maybe even a better hand than a pair of queens as well. Sir Watts limping it in. Queen, or sorry, 10-8-4-2. Where's the queen? Pass doesn't even have a queen. Goes for the raise facing the limp. With the ace jack 7-5. Flops a pair of 5s. Has some backdoor straight outs and the backdoor diamonds. Bottom pair for Watts. Backdoor spades and some backdoor straight draws with his 3 in a row. As well as the 4 deuce. Could make ace 3. 6-3 straight. We got some potentiality happening here. Sir Watts bets half pot. So we get a limp from Watts, raise from pass. 9-5-4 flop goes check, raise from Watts, call from pass. 10 of hearts on the turn. So we got 2 pair for Watts with 10s and 4s. 1.7 million chips in the middle. Pass picks up a straight draw to the 8. Weird hand here. 1.7 million in the middle. Watts does just bet full pot. That gets the weak little straight draw to fold with the pair of 5s. 3 million chips for pass now. King Jack 10-5 for Watts. Facing a limp, goes for the raise. Pass with a pair. Some straight potential making happening. And look at this flop. 8-4-3. That's pass's flop for him. 6s are still good. No backdoor flush draw. 1 backdoor straight draw for Watts and a couple overcards. I don't think Pass wants to see a free card, but he does give it off. Ace of hearts on the turn here. Doesn't improve Watts' hand. 5-2 makes a straight. Watts checks it on over. Pass with the pair of 6s is still good. Watts needing a king jack or 10. Would fold to a bet on the turn here. Pass does check it back. We get a 9 of hearts. Watts with a heart blocker. 800k in the middle. He doesn't necessarily want to just let Pass have. But you don't want to just give him some more chips by bluffing. Watts says, I'm going to turn my hand into a bluff. Half pot Pass. What are you going to do about it? 6-7 straight draw doesn't get there, so pass lays down the pair of sixes. Watts steals that one away. 2.5 million chips for pass. Do-ba-dee-doo-da-da-ba-dee-da. Watts with the jack 9-9 deuce. Limping it in. Watts checks it back with a straight draw to the 7 and backdoor diamonds. Has a backdoor 5-4 straight draw as well. The middle set for, bottom set for Watts. We'll bet and take it on down. Queens versus 7s. Kings. Oh my lord. I am struggling here. King for pass, no suit. Does have a straight draw to the 10 here. Watts with top pair. Doesn't look like he has a backdoor straight draw. Might just find the fold facing the full pot size bet with a flush draw and all the straight draws out there. Potential overcards or over pairs as well. Watts does just let it go. Good shit. Do ace 10 to 7-5, limping it in. Queen 10 7-7 for pass. Pass raises it up. We get a call from the ace 10 7-5. Jack 4-3 flop. Do. Pass bets 217 with the pair 7s. The backdoor straight draw. We get a float from Sir Watson. He banks the straight on the turn here, making the wheel. Doesn't even have a spade. That was a pretty rude call on the flop, if I do say so myself. 1.3 million chips in the middle. Pass checks it over. He is dead here, but he could buy the pot with a river barrel if he elects to put it in. Queen of diamonds. It's hard to bluff with top pair here on the river. Hard to bluff here. So pass checks it over. Hard to go for some value here, but Watts might just check and say, I'll thankfully take this 1.3 million chips that I probably shouldn't have had. Just kidding. Watts puts out a half pot size bet. Now if pass can find a bluff here, that would be one hell of a thing. Would kind of just show the capabilities in this silly 4-card PLO game. Pass deep in the tank. Says, can I represent the flush? All in from pass. One hell of a bluff here. Sir Watts snap folds just like that. 2 million chips stolen away. What a play by pass. Dang, that thin value bet on the river just gets absolutely punished. Sir Watts getting lucky to bink it on the turn. Whoo, huge bluff for pass. Even though he's only up to 4 million chips, you gotta start somewhere. Do buddy do da buddy do da. Ace 9 6 4 flop. Looks like we got a limp and a raise. Both players with the ace king 2. Pair of 6s for pass is actually the best hand right now. Bum 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 bum. A deuce would be a dirty card, and the ace or king would be interesting. Pass with the pair of 6s, bets half pot and takes it on down. Jack 8-8-5 for Watts, raising it up. King Queen 7 flop, 2 hearts for Watts. Jack 7-4-4 for pass. No real draw here, just a pair of 7s. We get the 10 of hearts on the turn, completing the flush for Watts. Has a straight flush card with a 9 of hearts. It's always fun to see. Not much doing for pass. They check it over to Watts in position. Watts bets real small, pass quickly folds. Do-ba-da-do. King 10-5-5. Looks like another limp pot. 10-8-6 flop. 2 diamonds for Watts. Has the straight draw to the 9. We get the check on the flop. Queen on the turn. Do-ba-dee-do. Diamonds didn't get there. Jack 9 makes a straight. Pass playing King 10. Facing a hefty bet on the turn here. We'll just find the fold. Nice little play there by Watts. Steal it with the straight draw and flush draw. No nut blocker. That's an interesting hand to choose. Still worked out in their favor. Large raise from the Queen Jack 7-2 double suited. Ace Queen 10-4 goes for the 3-bet. 1.2 mil is the bet. We get a call. Top and bottom for Watts. Not much doing, just middle pair of 4s for pass. He does stick it all in. He's going to need an ace, a queen, a 10 or 4. A king with another high card will do. A 4 on the turn, that pretty well does it. Some 70% after the 4 on the turn. Watts had some more outs, but they didn't hit. Pass gets the full double. Ace, king, 6-6 for Watts. Facing the limp. Do-ba-dee-do, do-ba-da-ba-dee-do. Ba-ba-ba-dee-boo, ba-ba-ba-ba-bee-boo. Watts in the tank. Looks like he's going to go for the raise. This thing's still running. Thank gosh. Queen 7-6-5. Flopping the flush draw. Top pair, top kicker for Watts. Pass has plenty of backdoor straight outs. Will be interesting to see how this one goes down. $800, almost $900K in the middle. The flop goes check, check. 8 of clubs on the turn. Could we have got a more interesting card? No. No is the answer. Nut flush draw with top pair, top kicker for Watts. Pass has some sort of a rapidity doodah. A 10-7-6-5 all work for him. A diamond would have done the job. We get the 2 of hearts. 2.6 million chips in the middle. Watts checks it over with the top pair, top kicker. 2 of hearts is a pretty big frickin' brick. Pass sitting here with queen high. We'll see if he sticks in the river bluff. Feels like you have to. He bets half pot. Hopefully for Watts' sake they can find the call here on the river with such a brick. Yeah, you kind of have to. 5.2 million chip slides Watts' way. Pretty big pot at this point in the tournament. Mayalik Pass just won an 8 million chip pot as a full double. Just like that, Watts is back to 25 million chips. Flopping a full house. Not much doing here for Pass. The pair of 5s. We'll see if he even comes along to the turn. Seems like such a stupid spot. Pass does call, picks up a straight draw to the 4. Obviously that's dead, as Watts has a boat. Do-ba-dee-do. Watts betting quite large on the turn here. And Pass finds the fold. Do-ba-dee-do. Aces for Watts. A double suited hand here for Pass. We'll see if he calls the raise. Flopping 2 pair. Good news for Pass. Aces with a straight draw. A couple of backdoor straight draws, sorry. Looks like we're going to get this one in on the flop here. Watts needing an ace, a deuce, runner cards. To either make straights or a better 2 pair. Pass re-raises the top 2. Watts gets it in. 27% for the aces. 15% on the turn. And a 4 of clubs on the river doesn't help him out. Just like that. Pass up to 10 million chips. Watts with 20 still. 2-1 chip advantage. Going for the big sizing here with the king 6-5-4. Do pass calls with jack 7-7-3. Seven's still good for the time being. Get an ace of clubs on the turn here. What? Could bet and take this pot down. Could check to the river and leave the bluffing chance, or leave the bluffing opportunity open then. Holy shit, that sentence was difficult. Maybe he can check back the turn so he can bluff on the river. We get a 9 of clubs and pass turns. That's 7 of clubs into a big old bluff ski, betting full pot. This one gets through, of course, as Watts had nothing. Queen 10-10-9 for pass. Goes for the raise, gets a call from the queen 3-3-2. We both flop top pair. Pass with a better kicker. Checks it back, picks up a flush draw and straight draw to the 8 on the turn here. Looks like Watts could hit a 4 for a straight. A 3 would do. And a 2 would give him 2 pairs, providing those aren't hearts. So it looks like pass is pot for the most part. Pass betting small. I don't even know if queen 3 calls here. Weird spot for Watts. Nice little fold there from the queen 3. Ace 10-8-7. We'll raise it on up. Pass with the queen jack 7-3. Plays call. Quickly checks 10-4-2 flop. Top pair, top kicker for Watts. Betting half pot. 3 in a row for pass. We'll just let it go. Limp pot. Ace 2-2 flop. Nut flush draw for Watts. Got a lower flush draw for pass with a straight draw to the 3. Pass. We'll check it back. Queen of hearts on the turn, so Watts has a straight draw now to the king, jack, or 10. With the spades, betting full pot. Weird spot for pass. Do we just fold now? We're really looking for a 3, and that's it. Instead, we get a 7 of hearts. If this goes check, check, it's past this pot. Hard to imagine Watts is going to check it over, but he does. You don't think pass is going to bluff here. Hearts get there. Pass with the 4 of hearts. Might try to put some pressure on ace or queen. Does bet full pot. Watts sitting there with king high has an easy fold. Ooh, so just like that, pass at 11 million chips now. Fighting to get this thing tied up again. Jack 8-8 flop, 2 hearts. Got a flush draw for Watts. Got quite the straight draw for pass, who makes it on the turn here. Top pair, second best kicker for Watts. 9-10 straight for pass. Pretty small bet from the straight, giving Watts the good price to come along to the river. Surely we don't raise here. Get the 3 of hearts on the river. 9-10 is no longer good. Looks like the 1.6 million chips is sliding Watts' way. We'll see if he gets any more value here. Pass will bet about 500 more K into about 1.6. Watts will eventually land on a call or raise. I don't know if we're going to raise here just with a flush. Could still get called by a straight maybe. Nope. Watts with the flush. We'll just call. Seems like it might even be hard to get called by worse flushes there on the river. Doopity doo da bitty doo. Got a king, king, jack 9, raising the button. A suited ace with the jack 8-7 for pass. Goes for the 3-bet. Watt sitting here with the king, king, jack 9 with the suit to the heart, which is dominating passes jack. Doopity doo, 4-bet. For half of passes chips. We did not want to see this in passes shoes. Doopity doo. Pass will find the call and he flops. Interestingly, missing a 9. Jack 9 for Watts is the nards. Has a redraw to the 9 or ace. Pass leads it all in with 14%, looking for a king, an ace. Another ace will give him a boat just like that. Runner aces. Pass getting it in there quite behind. Oh no, Watts played a great game. Pass getting lucky a couple times. Now it has the 2-1 chip lead. Whew. So we could have been all over, but instead this battle will continue. 3 of a kind this time for Watts. Hoo hoo hoo. Pass with the 10-9-7-4. Doopity doo. Bets real small. Quick call from 3 of a kind. 4 on the turn. Pass rubs it in a little bit. Says, I thought you were lucky. Watt says, well, I would have been a fucking scoop winner if you wouldn't have just fucking got there on the river. See what he does here on the turn here. Facing a large bet. About 2/3. Calls and we get a 6 on the river. 1.6 mil in the middle. Pass with a pair of 4s. That's no good here, obviously. Gonna try to rep the ace, queen, ace 6, ace 4. Queen, queen. Trying to get called by 3 of a kind. We'll see if pass fires the barrel. Won't triple barrel it off with the pair of 4s. Nice little pot sliding Watts' way, about 1.6 million chips. Doopity doo da da bitty doo da dum. Queen 10-9-8 for pass. Bum 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 bum. Plays call from the big. Flops quite well. 9-7-4 flop. Wow, this is interesting. Pair for pass. Straight draw to the what? 6. Does a 10 work? Nope. A jack works. Backdoor clubs and top pair for pass. Sorry, it's taking me longer to count this shit out now. Sir Watts with that same straight draw to the 6. Instead, we get a 10 of hearts on the turn. Watts needing a 7 or 3 to take down the pot. Get a 5 on the river. 2 pair versus 2 pair. It is top 2 for pass. We'll see if on such a weird looking board if he goes for some value here. 5 is a very interesting card. Spades do miss. Pass does bet real small, trying to get some sneaky value here. Sir Watts playing 7-5. Would have rather hit a straight or 3 of a kind, but in the end might still call here. Bum, 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 bum. Nice fold there with the weaker 2 pair. We're going to move right on along with the king, queen, 6-5 limp. Ace, king, 8-6 checks it back. 7-7-2 flop. Doopity doo doo doo. Pass with 3 to a straight flush. We'll check it back. Picks up a straight out to the 4 on the turn here. Ace king for Watts is still the best hand. Pass could surely buy the pot if he wants to though. 9 of clubs on the river. Nobody makes a pair. Straight misses for pass. Ace king is still good for Watts. King queen is no good for pass. Boop-a-dee-doo. Bet's real small, about half pot. Not gonna be an easy call with ace king, and Watts does just like snap fold it. No surprise there. Doop-a-dee-doo. Two small pocket pairs here with a queen that's suited for both players. Get the big raise from Watts and a quick call from pass. King 6-2 flop. Nobody with the heart draw. Nobody with the backdoor spades. So you got small pair versus small pair. 8s versus 6s. Half pot size bet by Watts with 3 in a row. And the better pair. Queen 6 with no real backdoor draw has to let it go. Watts almost at 11 million chips again. King 10-6 raising 3x. And Watts folds. Aces in the big blind. 3x from Watts is king 9-7-2. If pass, re-raises here, which he probably will. There's the 3-bet. It's a fair size. I was going to say Watts is probably going to get priced out of this pot here. Such a marginal holding. King 9-7-2. Still finds the call, and he flops a friggin' straight versus the nut flush. I mean, there's a straight flush potential in king 9, a clubs. But pass doesn't give a shit. He's got the fucking nuts in this situation. And then Sir Watts, what the hell do we do here with a straight on a 3 flush board? Feels horrific just to fold on the flop here. We do get a call and 9 on the turn. 4.3 million chips in the middle. 8.3 behind. Doesn't look like it'll be a pot-sized bet on the turn here. $2.6 mil, right around half pot, and a quick fold from the straight, nicely done by Watts. Huge pot slide and pass his way. And he's going to get a double suited queens the next hand. Gonna go for the 3x. Watts might just fold. Nope, he calls the king 7-3-4. This is heads up poker. We gotta go to the frickin' flop. Just been unfortunate for Watts. 9-8 with a straight draw to the 6 or jack. Watts needing a king or 7. A 3 or 4 would help for the time being. Instead we get a 10 of diamonds on the turn. Pretty well locking up the board for pass. A 7 still works for Watts. A king still works, but it's not likely to come. Deuce of clubs on the river. Do-betty-do, and the river goes check, check. Pass at 22 million chips now. Jack 10-9 deuce for Watts. Raising. Ace king 6-4 goes for the 3-bet. Weird spot again for Watts. Would have to put in another million chips here. Would be in position. He does find the call. Ace queen 2 flop. Great news for pass. Watts with a straight draw to the king, but that's about it. 3 million chips in the middle. This is a weird one for pass with the top pair, top kicker. With the flush draw, he bets 3 million chips, which is half of what Watts has, and takes it down on the flop. Do-betty-do. King 10-8-6 limping in. Ace jack deuce deuce for Watts. Checks it back. King 5-5 flop. Bum ba bum bum bum. Flop goes check check. We get 8 of hearts on the turn. This one's not too interesting here. A pair of 2s versus top 2. I said it's not too interesting, and Watts is bluffing here with the 2s. Betting full pot. Right into top 2. Get a call from pass. 6-7 completes. Hearts miss. Watts gives up the bluff. And king 8 is good for another million chips. Pass 24, almost 25 million chips now. Do Watts in position. Will limp in 10-5-4-2. No suit. Ace Queen 10-4 raises and takes it down pretty. Bum 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 bum. 6-4-4-2 limps in 10-9-5 flop. Got a straight draw to the 7 for Mr. Watts. Get a 6 on the turn, so we both make a pair of 6s. 6-8 is the best of it for the time being. Pass has a heart draw. 3 of a kind draw, and the 2 pair draw would chop it up to the 2. We get a king of hearts. Bum 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 bum. 6-8 is good if this gets down to showdown. Let's see a bluff pass. You will show it down, and 6-8 takes it. 2 blinds going Watts' way. Aces for Watts. 10-7-4-2 for pass. We'll just fold. Very unfortunate for the aces. Can't even get a big blind out of them. Not even 2. Bum ba bum bum. Jack 5-4 flop. What the hell is going to happen here? We got a pair of 8s for Watts with the 4 as well, so he's a 3 of a kind draw. Although pass as well with the 4. Has a better 3 of a kind draw. The 8s are still good, but they will fold on the flop with no real draw. Bum, 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 bum. We get jacks for pass with a suited ace and a limp pot. We're gonna bump it on up. 3 big blinds to go. 10-9-4-2 calls. We get a 7-4-4 flop. 3 of a kind for Watts. Pass with the full house outs to the jack. A 7 would also do. Would be interesting to see if Watts bets on the flop. Like, what do we do here with the jack? I suppose we're calling the small bet. Pass finds the call. 6 of diamonds on the turn here. Diamonds obviously complete. 7s are a boat on the flop. 6s are a boat on the turn. Not that they're super likely to call the flop bet. We get a king of spades on the river. Pass very well could try to rep the flush or the boat here with the 7 blocker, with the diamond blocker. It won't happen. 1.5 million chip slides Watts' way. Ace, queen, jack, 4 double suited for pass. Gonna go for the 3x. We get a call from the 10-7-8-3. King 5-4 flop. Bottom pair for pass with the backdoor straight draws. See a 5 of clubs on the turn. No draw for Watts. Although a 7, 8, or 10 would work for the million chips in the middle. We had a deuce of clubs. We'll see if Watts takes a bluff here. Doesn't necessarily seem like the right holding to do it with, but with the 3 blocking some straights that get there on the river, how are you going to call down with a pair of 4s? Half pot size bet, and we get the 4s to fold. Nicely done by Watts. Almost back to 7 million chips. Jack 10-7-3 limping in. Queen 7-5-3 checks it back. Jack 4-3 flop. Top pair for Watts with the bottom pair to boot. Flop goes check 4 on the turn. Watts now losing to many other jack X's. Any 4x you lose to. Pass looking for a 3 queen. 10 is not the card. As Watts improves to top 2. Pass checks it on over. 2 blinds in the middle. Ugh. Watts bets real small and pass quickly folds. Ace, king, jack, 5 for pass. Raise in 3x. Sir Watts thinking. The queen 664 isn't suited. Might just fold here pre-flop. Watts says no, I will give it a call. King, queen, jack flop. Pass, bets real small, and the bet gets through. Doop-a-dee-doo. Jack 8-8-4 limping in. Ace queen 8-3 for pass. Puts in the re-raise. Watts calls. Queen 9 deuce flop. Super interesting. Top pair, top kicker for pass with the third nut flush draw. Watts with a little straight draw to the 10. Has a 3 of a kind draw to the 8 as well. We'll just find the fold. Hey there. How's it going? How are you going? Good. 7-5-4 flop. Top and bottom for Watts. Backdoor flush draw on the top pair for pass. Looks like he has a straight draw to the 6. Doop-a-dee-doo. Get the 8 of hearts on the turn. Flop goes check, check. So we got some straights getting there. Watts with the 2 pairs. Looking a lot weaker now. The pot's real small. We'll see if he calls a turn bet. It doesn't even come in. 3 of diamonds on the river. 2 pair for Watts is good. Bum, bum, bum. There are so many straight draws out there. The 3 does improve past his hand, but we'll see if he wants to put in a bluff here. Nah, no real reason to bluff 2 pairs. Just check it down and lose. 9858 goes 9855 goes for the 3x. Takes it down pre. Pass limping in the 9543. Flop in the bottom pair. Backdoor flush draw for Watts with the straight draw to the 5. Has a backdoor straight draw to the queen jack 2. We'll just fold on the flop though. The paired board. 6 million chips for Watts. 10997. 3x from the button. Pass will lay down the king queen 4-2 with the suited 4-2. Just move along and find a better spot with 4 connected cards. Maybe even 3 will do. King queen 10-3 limping in. Ace jack 10-2 goes for the re-raise. Get a quick call. 8-4-4 flop. No pairs for nobody. A million chips in the middle. Sir Watts goes in the tank. He bets real small. Hard to float with nothing going on. Pass just lets it go. 4 in a row for pass. Facing the limp. Plays raise. Sir Watts calls with the king 9-8 deuce. Flopping 3 of a kind. Pass with the pair of jacks. Backdoor straight draw. We'll see what the hell happens here. Pass, bet small. Hard to imagine what you call here other than a deuce or jack. What do you raise here other than a deuce or jack? Some sort of backdoor straight draw and flush draw. Pass doesn't have the backdoor flush draw. It does have the 3 of a kind draw to the jack. Had some potential straight outs that could come on the turn, but instead we get a 5 of hearts. That's just all bad news for passes king queen jack 10. Sir Watts betting Getting about half pot. Interesting spot for pass once again. Who the hell knows what to do? They land on fold. Good news, because that flop raise is scary as shit. Double suited aces for pass. And we get a couple of connected cards for Watts. Has a straight draw to the 8. 4-5 back door would also work for him. Pass blocking the top pair. Top set. We'll see how he goes about this. He does check back the flop. 2 hearts on the turn. No help for Watts. 1 million chips in the middle. Just a 7 or 8 for Watts. There he goes. 8 of spades on the river, giving him the friggin' nards with 10-7. Not going to be easy to extract value in the check down pot. He's just going to lead out for the full pot size. And aces quickly fold for pass. King Jack 9-5 for Watts. 3x from the button gets quickly called from the ace 10. 9 deuce. Pass flop in top 2. Sir Watts with a straight draw to the queen. In position, bets half pot. Pass in the tank. Thinking about check raising here with the top 2. Does make it another million chips to go, and Sir Watts will just fold. Limp pot. King Jack 10 flop. Pair of 10s for pass. Straight draw to the queen. Sir Watts with a 3 of a kind draw. That's about it. We get the 8 of hearts on the turn. No help for either player. Bum ba bum 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 ba da 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 da. Small pot. Pair of 6s versus 10s. Checks all the way down, and the 10s take it. Jack 10 9 6 flop, or sorry, Jack 10 pass with the Jack 10 9 6, Ace King 6 flop. Backdoor straight draws for Watts. Ace high board, they'll take a stab. We do see a call from the pair of 6s, a king on the turn here. No pair for Watts. Checks down to the, or sorry, checks back the turn. Get a deuce on the river. Sixes are good. 6s are good. Pass checks it over, and the deuces check it down and muck. Little pot slide and pass his way. Almost back to 24 million chips now. Queen Jack 9 8 will go for the raise. Watts with the Queen Jack 8-3. Completely dominated here. He's double suited. Does go for the 3-bet here. It's going to be hard to fold 4 connected cards. About 1.1 mil to call for pass. They do find it. 3 million chips in the middle. Get a flop flush for Sir Watts. Just a pair of queens for pass. Bum 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 bum. Hopefully Watts can check it over. That'd be real cool. Bets 800k. Pass with the backdoor full house draw. Has to let it go. 10-8-7-3, limping it in. King Jack 10-7, raising it up. Ace King Jack flop. 2 pairs for pass. Not much doing for the 10-8-7-3. Backdoor club draw. Backdoor straight draw. Pass bets real small. Watts blocking queen 10. Thinking things through. Folds. 10-8-9-5. Raising. King 4-4-2 coming along to the flop. Queen 2 flop. One spade for Watts. They check it on over. Fours are still good. Not for long though. 1 million chips in the middle. Pass bets 280k. Sir Watts puts in the check raise with the pair of fours in the backdoor draw. Surely this gets a fold. No hand for pass. No made hand. You just have to let it go. 10-9-8-3, limping it in. Pass, raising the king 10-9-5. The king is suited. 7-6-5 flop. Looks like a straight for Watts with the 8-9. Pass, drawing to the 8. But that would just chop the pot up. Watts with the spade draw to go along with the nuts right now. Pass calls. We get an ace on the turn. No help for pass. Uh-oh. Looked like he was going to lead there. Does just check it on over. Watts with the friggin' nuts. Looks like a pot-sized bet's coming in. Full pot is the bet. And pass is just priced out of the pot now. Doopity-doo-doo-doo-doopity-doo. Ace 8-8-5, raising it up. Straight draw to the 4. Sir Watts with an ace and a queen has a straight draw to the 5. We get a 4 on the turn. Pass making the wheel. Sir Watts making 2 pairs here. He's got a full house draw to the queen or 4. Could also chop the pot with a 5 on the river. Won't get to go there for free. We see pass, bet about half pot. Ba-dum, bam, bam, bam. Sir Watts deep in the tank finds the call. We get a deuce on the river. Top 2 versus straight. Weird spot. 2.2 in the middle. Look like a half pot size bet on the turn. We'll see if pass sizes up on the river here. Or do we keep it sizable? Do we just check even because the board pairs? We lose to sets that become full houses. We lose a few 2 pairs that become full houses. Still a nice pot sliding past his way. Who's gonna flop? 2 pairs with a straight draw to the jack. Watts looking for a 7. Backdoor diamonds or spades. A 6 would also help. We get the queen on the turn. Bum body bum. 3 pair versus an under pair. Again, the 6 or 7 will work for Watts. We get a jack. Pass making a straight. We'll see if Watts wants to rep ace king here. King 9. The thing is, like, you have king jack, king queen, king 10. Like, you know, you've got so many holdings here that make a straight. He's just gonna bet quite large. Pass with the queen 10 straight. We'll find the call and take it on down. Doopity doo dop dopity doo. 7 million chips for Watts. King Queen 5-3. Flop and open ended. Interesting hand here. Bottom 2 for pass with the 10s and 2s. We'll just check back the flop. We get an 8 of diamonds on the turn. Watts blocking Queen 9. Bets full pot. And what do we do with 2 pairs here? Just a quick fold from pass. Nice little steal there from Watts. Queen 10-6-2 limping in. Kings with a suited ace for pass. You won't get to go to the flop for free, that's for sure. Raises it up. Quick call from from Watts is disconnected something. 9-5-4 flop. No diamonds for Watts, but he has a backdoor straight draw to the King Jack. Jack 8. Has an immediate straight draw to the 3. Do buddy do da 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 buddy do. Betting half pot in position. Gets called from the Kings. 9 of spades on the turn. What an interesting card. His spades complete. The board pairs. Makes it much less likely Watts has 9-9 now. If he's got 5-5 or 4-4, he's gonna go for a full pot size bet. Oh, maybe size down? No, I think they would still go for max value. But I could just be wrong. Sir Watts betting half pot on the turn there. Maybe because it's such a dynamic turn, the bet itself is going to be polar. So you don't have to bet as large to polarize yourself. Interesting little hand to end us out before the break. Now I got about a minute to 30 seconds just to ramble to myself where I try to spew out as many words as possible. We'll make sure that this thing's still recording. Does it say how long it's been going on for? Oh, for 3 hours. Okay. So, been a 3-hour long heads up battle. Sir Watts says you got my hopes up. What about? And I'm punting all my other turns to focus on this. Oh, that's no good. Worst possible outcome. Yeah, no kidding. You lose your other tournaments. You focus on the heads up battle. And pass. Unfortunately, running pretty good. Playing good cards too, though. Other than the one big hand where Watts had aces. And I even forget what pass had. Was it some sort of ace king with a suit or some shit? Getting the full double up. Winning a huge pot. Unfortunate for Watts, but both players, other than the standard hands where you just have to get it in, are playing good cards. It's been fun to see. Almost 3.5 hours deep into this. Alrighty, let's get back to the cards, PokerStars. Hurry the hell up. We've got places to be. Alrighty, deal the cards now. I'm doing the same thing if it can make you feel better. I would say no pass that doesn't make Watts feel any better. You've got the 21 million chips there. Being said, I think both players respect had a quick heads up battle. Didn't need to punt away stacks. Fucking break, PokerStars. This shit's getting ridiculous. What? That's why we're so thankful for BCP Poker Replays, Cali Poker, and there's a new one I found earlier today. I don't remember off the top of my head. Those people who King 8. That's not a great hand, but we are going to go to the turn. We get the Queen of Clubs. Oh no, we were out of a mic for a little while. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Ace Jack Jack 3. Oh, he's embarrassed now. Might have to come back and frickin' edit some shit in there. We will see about that later, if it was horrific or not. I hope I didn't go silent for long. Anyways, Watts with the pair of 7s, that's no good. Has a straight draw to the 5. 1.1 million chips in the middle. Very inconsequential ace on the river. Don't think Watts turns his hand into a bluff here. And pass, checks it back just to scoop the chips. Doop-a-dee-doo. Watts with the suited ace. Raising it up. Pass with Jack 7-5. 2 will just fold. Good timing. Ooh, double suited 8-6-5-3 for pass. Something going on for Watts, but they will just let it go. Double suited jacks in the big blind, facing a limp. Goes for the raise pre. Queen 8 7 4 calls with no suit. Got a Jack 10 8 or Jack 10 7 flop. Top set for pass. Straight draw to the 9 for Watts. What the hell do you do here? Watts does call. We get a 10 on the turn. That's a boat now for pass. Boo, boo, boo. 1.7 in the middle. Pass sizing up a bet. Do we ever check it over? I don't think diamonds are gonna bet on the turn here. Pass leads out pot. And gets a quick fold from Watts. Just with the straight draw. Ace 10 7 4. With a straight draw to the 5. Watts with the top pair and the bottom pair. Nobody with a spade draw. Nobody with... Oh no, Watts has the diamond draw. You see a half pot size bet from pass. Do buddy do da da buddy do da dum. Watts calls and his diamond on the turn. Ace 10 7 4 for pass. Betting huge on the king of diamonds turn. Blocking the diamond draw that would come along. Dang, is he gonna need an ace of 10 or 5? 7 would also work. But the huge bet... Oh, it doesn't quite work. Spades complete on the river. What the hell do we do here with the ace 10 now? Our draw missed. Sir Watts is sitting there with a pair of 6s. Surely he would fold if the bet comes in. But how do you do it if you're pass? Fire away! Fire away! Oh, but it's so hard. Pass deep in the tank, checks it down. Watts scoops a 5 million chip pot. Huge one going their way. Oh no. Alrighty, we move along. Queen 10 6 5, flopping top 2. Watts with the nut blocker and bottom pair. No real equity. Can make runner, or sorry, if he makes an ace, that's good enough. A 2 is good enough. So he has some equity, and he can just barrel. Oh, we get a 2 on the turn. That's good for Watts. Watts in the tank. Betting large. Hard to fold top 2, but maybe pass can find a way. There's 3 of a kind, or 3 flush. There's 3 hearts out there. The board is paired, and we got queen 10. And nice fold from pass with the top 2. Bum 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 bum. Ace Jack 2 flop. Nine 8 7 4 goes for a little bet. Nut flush draw, and the top pair comes along to the 10 turn, bringing in another flush draw, and pass picks up some equity. Any queen 9 8 7 will do. We get the jack of spades. Another spot where I want to see pass bluff just because I think it'll work. We'll see if Sir Watts even gives him the chance. Don't see why ace 6 would go for a bet here. Bluff. Fire away. You got 9 high. Oh no, pass checks it down. Watts takes another pot. This one a little bit smaller, but almost back up to 10 million chips now. Queen Jack 10-6 goes for the 3x, and that will get through pre. Ooh, kings for Watts. Limp from the ace jack 4-3 with a suit. Facing the raise will come along to the flop. Very wet board. Queen 10-9. Got a straight draw to the king for pass, a straight draw to the jack for Watts. And the overpair of kings is still good. Facing a small bet here. Pass just calls with the straight blocker. Picks up the diamond draw on the turn. Interesting. 8-7 gets there. Sir Watts with the 8 of diamonds, a very interesting card. And the king-king. Blocking the king-jack straight. Going for a very healthy value bet here. 1.4 mil into about 1.7. We'll see if pass is priced out of the pot or not. They do find the call. 7 on the river. Watts betting full pot with the kings. What a sneaky little value bet here. Or is he turning himself into a bluff with the king-king? Like, what the hell is going on? Pass with no pair. Can't jam it all in, of course. There's only 3 million chips behind. Sir Watts will take that one down. Boop-buddy-doo. Man, that must have been a bluff on the river there. Blocking king-jack. Just going 3 streets. Hard to imagine that's getting called by a worse hand there. Another nice flop for Sir Watts. Middle pair with the flush draw. Second nut flush draw. Pass in position with the backdoor. Second nut flush draw. Goes large. Sir Watts eventually finds the call and binks the club on the turn. No outs for pass here. 2.6 mil in the middle. Well, hopefully he can just check it on over. Give up the bluff. Boo, 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 boo. Big 2 million chip bet on the turn. We'll get through. Sir Watts almost tied things up here. 13 million chips to 16.5 after being down to about, what was it, like 5 or 6 million? 6-2-2 flop. 8s go for a little bit of value, but none to be had here. Ace-9, 8-7 for Watts. We'll go for the big raise pre-flop. And pass will just fold. Ace-King 7-3 for Watts, facing the limp. Pass with the Jack 8-8-3. Facing the raise, he will come along to the flop, and he flops a frickin' set. Jack 8-8-3, good time to come along to the flop. Sir Watts with top pair, top kicker. Doesn't know this, but he's absolutely fucked. Does have the backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight draw to the Jack 10. Pass, putting in the raise. Watts deep in the tank. We'll find the call, makes top 2 on the turn here. So now the heart draw, Jack 10 gets there. 4.4 in the middle. Pass going in the tank here with the set. We'll see if he checks it back or goes for a nice healthy value bet. The answer is check. We get a 6 or a relative brick. Watts with the top 2 still. Hard to get value with the ace king. Probably going to check it on over again. Oh no, he's going to block bet. Bet a quarter pot. Quick call from the set. That's 7 million chips sliding past his way. 21 million chips. Back with a commanding 2-to-1 chip advantage. 3 4s for Watts. Doesn't look like he's gonna play this, even with the suited ace. Very strong ace king jack jack double suited for pass, gets no action. King 6 4 2 double suited will raise and get a call. Pass with the nut flush draw on a paired board. This is a weird one. Watts with some backdoor straight draws. We'll bet real small. Pass in the tank, but we'll eventually land on a call. Don't think a raise is coming in, but just kidding. 1 million chips to go. Not too sure why there. We're turning our hand into the bluff, but we did and it worked. Don't want to have to face any pressure on turn and river. Or maybe we just want to dictate the size of the pot. Another interesting one brewing here. We got top pair with 3 of a kind draw for Sir Watts. Pair of jacks. 3 in a row and the flush draw for pass, who binks this flush on the turn here. Queen jack doesn't pick up any equity. So pass just locks up the board. 1.7 in the middle. Full pot size bet from pass and a quick fold from Watts. 10-8-4-4 goes for the limp. Flop in middle set. Pass with the bottom pair. Backdoor spade draw. Backdoor straight draw to the king 10 as well. 3-5 would work for him. Got a 5 of hearts on the turn. So now just a 3. Just a 3 for pass. They're going to know that, so if another bet comes in, full pot size, going to be an easy fold. Another pair of 4s for Watts, this time out of position, facing a pair of 5s. Double suited ace king 5-5 for pass. Flopping top pair, top kicker. Watts with the nut blocker, with the ace of spades. Flop goes check, check, 10 on the turn. 1 million chips in the middle, Sir Watts. He wants them. Sizing up a turn lead. 370k into about 1.2 million chips. Ace king check back the flop to call the turn. Get a 10 of hearts, which will give both players a boat. Watts with 4s, pass with 5s. 4s check, 5s check, and the pot slides over pass's way. 23 million chips now. Only 7 left to collect. Queen 5-3 deuce limps, faces a raise. And goes for the call, flops the straight draw, any 6-3-5 or 2 will do. Pass with a pair of 9s here. Backdoor club draw, backdoor straight draw to the 8-10. Betting more than half pot, looks like 2/3. Sir Watts in position, can raise, can call, just not fold. Has the backdoor clubs as well, and it's dominating passes. Oh my, and we just go for the raise facing the lead. Ace high board with our crazy straight draw. That pot slides Watts' way. 8.2 mil with a suited ace and top pair. Pass with some backdoor straight draws, checks it back. We get a 7 on the turn. Do 6-9 making the straight, 10-9 making the straight, 6-3 making the straight. We get a queen on the river. So there's plenty of straight combos. Watts top pair, top kicker, treks it on over. Bam bada doom boom. Pass will bluff with the 10 blocker. Repping the 10-9 straight. Repping the nope, that's I guess 9-6. Like I was saying, there's some other straights out there that could be betting like that. The bluff gets through. Sir Watts with the ace king, 10-4 with the suited ace. Gets called by passes, small pair of fives. Picks up a straight draw on the turn, or sorry, on the flop. Any ace or six will do. A 5 would also work. Nope, the 5 would give Watts the wheel. My bad. 8 is spades, big brick on the turn here. 5s are still good for pass. Deuce of hearts on the river after the turn goes check, check. Giving Watts the best of it. The 2 mil in the middle will be sliding his way. We'll see if pass even bluffs on the paired board. Rep the boat. Nope, not this time. Unless he wants to go for the check raise. Sir Watts will put in a nice juicy bet here with the best possible flush. Full pot size. We could rep the 7s, the 3s. Not going to happen here. The deuces as well. Pass will just fold the pair of 5s and we move along. Aces with the suited king for Watts in the big blind facing the limp will go for the raise. Pass might come along with king 7 5-3 with the suited king. 10-6-4 flop. 2 diamonds out there. 1 heart for Watts. Aces are still good. Pass with a straight draw to the 3, the 5, the 7, 8. Does a deuce work as well? Holy shit, look at that straight draw. This could be one of those pots where it's just one of those flops. Or we're going to see a bet. Maybe a raise. Maybe the aces just call. Sir Watts does just land on a call. 8 of clubs on the turn here. 5-7 completes the straight. 2 million chips at least going past his way. 7-9 is the nuts. That's a pretty damn bad card for your ace-ace. Pass goes in the tank and bombs away for full pot, and the aces do just fold. Nicely done by Watts. Ace king 8-6 will go 3x from the button. Another kings, this time for pass. He's suited up too. Got 4 connected cards, goes for the 3 bet. This is a huge pot. We'll see what ace king 8-6 does with the suited ace. 2.4 in the middle. We will call and we flop freaking well. We got a straight draw to the 5. Any spade will do. An ace will work. Boopity doo. 3.6 million chips in the middle. Pass with the king. King bets pot. Sir Watts will jam quickly. We see he has 58% here. Queen on the turn. That's no help. A deuce. That's no help either. We finally freaking get the show done. Holy shit. Holy shit. How long was that? Almost 4 hours. This is the longest one I've ever done. Holy shit. So Watts gets second place. Looked like Pass got lucky a couple times there to eventually get the W. Whoo.